Welcome to the Mobsters podcast. Please be aware that the content of this podcast is primarily social commentary and represents the personal opinions of the hosts and guests. It is not intended to be a statement of fact or an official stance on any issues discussed. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage listeners to seek out professional advice for any factual matters or decisions. Listener discretion is advised.
Guys, Casper is doing her makeup on the set today.
Man, she's been doing makeup, since she walked in.
Yeah, is there a problem with that?
Kind of new to this group. Kind of new. It takes some getting used to.
Normally, when you walk in, you set up with us, man.
Today, now she's setting herself up to be behind the camera.
Priorities, guys. Proggy
She
after.
has a date today, man.
I don't have a date, but I don't have a date.
She has plans.
I have plans.
All right.
Yeah, man. Who was a nice breakup, bro?
Apparently, we hate Casper.
Oh, yeah, the boys told me that I should leave this podcast. It happened as we were setting up. I don't know if it's because I was doing my makeup. I think they hate women. Actually, that's the conclusion.
Fair.
They hate women.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's actually really fair. That's an accurate description of what actually. Accurate description.
Guys, do you know? I don't know if this is projection. I don't know if it's is it misconstrued? What?
It might actually be like a universal. You know, like how they say like Land Cruiser, Prados, and 90. They all had like a fault that caused them not to be balanced on the road. All of them, from like 1991 to 1999. I think all chicks made between like
First relax.
1980 and today. They all have that fundamental flaw. If you give them an opportunity to order something, they have to jam. But then when the thing comes, they have to taste it.
I don't get it. So
I
this
swear.
is what happened. Yeah? We've been making our Asian orders before the pod.
At Silo Restaurant.
What do we want to eat? Shout out Silo Restaurant. What do you want to eat? What do you want to drink? Casper says, I don't want anything.
I didn't say.
No one said anything.
I didn't say I don't want anything.
You said your thing. We hate women, da.
Yeah. Now let us land. It's our turn. She said it with vim. Yeah? The Englishman says vehemently.
That's where vim comes from.
I don't know, man. Yes. Isn't vim like a thing for the toilet?
Yeah, but then how does it relate to?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Like it
Extra
scrubs.
strong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. She says nada. So
No,
the
we
waiter
asked-
goes.
Literally, we were saying, what are we drinking today? She shouts from behind her mirror, I'm not drinking today.
Yeah.
I hear from you can think the mirror is the size of a blackboard.
I say, I didn't see your lips move. She says, I'm not drinking today. I say, is it? So let's get 3 whiskey sours. Calm. She makes her order whatever she's going to have.
You guys
The guy-
need to understand.
Yeah.
The waiter had gone, bro.
That guy walks away. She says, are you going to let me taste your whiskey sour? No. No, I'm not.
You're not touching any of our whiskey
Yeah.
sours.
that's
I'm not.
standard.
Yeah.
Girls don't want anything, but when you bring
They want
yours,
some.
They want some.
Yeah.
So
So do you want some of my water? It seems. Yeah.
I have water. So let me get this straight. I'm not allowed. It would be a waste of resources to order a sip of the whiskey sour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to commit to a full whiskey sour that will go to waste. But I want to know what the whiskey sour at Silo Restaurant. Shout out Silo Restaurant.
Shout out Silo Restaurant.
I want to know what it tastes like. So I was like, guys, I'm going to eat, but I'm not going to drink today. But I want to taste you guys.
That's not the gist of what you
You
were
said,
saying.
I'm not drinking today.
Yeah. I'm not ordering a drink. You misunderstood me.
If the
I
whiskey
mean-
sour is
Semantics,
laced
the
with some
semantics are
poison,
big.
you're gonna die.
It's kawa. But you see, I won't die as fast as they die or as much as they die. And secondly,
I
this
wish you just sip the poisonous part that has sunk to the bottom.
Like
Then
the
the healthy
membrane
just
on
stays
the
with
top.
me.
and so basically, and how this ended up in being that Melvin said I should leave this podcast is he said that I cannot eat my cake, I never have it, one want it,
Yeah.
what.
You
So
can't
many
do
things were said which ended in
You
him
can't do
saying,
both.
you know what, leave MJP.
Okay, and perfect timing. The whiskey
Perfect
sours
timing.
are
The
right.
whiskey sours are here.
You guys,
They
you're not
have
going to let me
arrived
taste
here.
your whiskey sour.
Let me
Is
tell
there
you,
anything left in the blender from the whiskey sour? She wants a sip.
she wants a sip.
She wants a sip of the whiskey sour.
I won't lie to you guys.
May I
This is
ask
the
why there are
earliest
two
these things
straws?
have come during
Yeah,
the pod.
and perfect because they've come over talking about it.
Okay, for aesthetics.
So, I've remembered how it ended up in me not being valued in this team. So I said, so you don't want me to give my opinion of what the whiskey sour tastes like? And Melvin is like,
No, she said she wants a sip.
and then
You
Melvin,
guys still sips here. How much is a sip of whiskey sour?
Shot of whiskey sour.
and then Melvin says, no, we don't need your opinion. I say, so you don't know my opinion. That means you don't need my opinion on MJP. That means you don't.
Generalization.
It's like
Generalization.
it's like
So that
what
means-
they call those things in the amusement park?
So that means.
roller coaster.
So that means you don't need me on MJP. That means you don't want me on MJP. This is a clear train of thought. I don't know how you're not seeing it.
Okay, can you like rank without any of us saying anything? You can just rank who has enjoyed the whiskey sour the most. That will be your role.
And you can tell us how it
But
looks.
I want to know what you
Cheers,
enjoy. You guys,
Windex.
you're actually not going to let me taste the whiskey sour.
Cheers. Cheers to you too. You can bring your hand and wave at the audience. You guys like seeing your hand.
This guy's like seeing my nails. No, you guys are not going to let me taste the whiskey sour.
Nah, that's good though.
That's a whiskey
I
sour.
can test the egg
For
white.
for
You guys also need to know, yeah?
for everyone watching, I hope you've seen.
Melvin said that this thing has egg white, so he's getting in his eggs today.
Protein-rich cocktails.
Yeah.
For everyone watching the pod, I hope you've seen how they
The
hate
last
me.
day,
How
yeah.
they hate me on
The
this
last day of
podcast.
Casper.
This was Casper's last
Be
day.
a
They
canon
hate.
moment. Like, man, why didn't they just give her some of the whiskey?
The whiskey
It was just a sip. What does a sip? Because what is greedy?
Those boys are greedy and selfish.
Yeah.
Guys, riot for
And
me in
whoever
the
gives her a
comments.
whiskey sour is the one who's dating her. If you give her the
Yeah,
whiskey
can we check
sour,
mine now?
you're the boyfriend. You're the boyfriend. Watch closely, guys.
I'm a mobsters.
Like the last supper, I'll go to the one who breaks. The one who, what
The one who kisses.
The one
Yo.
who kisses. No, the one who kissed was
Judas.
Didn't Simon Peter also kiss?
Simon Peter denied him after.
No, Judas. Oh, Judas kissed him and then they arrested him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the dinner, he said,
He said, "The one who will betray me is among us here today."
Yeah.
"Oh, he didn't say the one who breaks my bread or the one who."
He was the one breaking the bread.
bro.
But I won't lie.
Close enough.
Melvin today has a new ring, bro.
You had never seen it.
Nada.
Only a gem in the middle.
That's more boring. I won't lie to you.
Is this why you're treating me like this? Because you have a new ring?
It's not new, but I'm going to have some new ones.
Do you guys
Good.
know
By
like
ordeal.
how you'd get the aluminium foil and then you twist it and make a ring out of it?
Yes.
That's how your rings look like. I'm
Yeah,
not
they
gonna
are a
lie.
bit like. I think they were going for like that rough gold look, like a rough gold of like Ghana.
Yeah.
that guy is wearing. That's what they were going for. Yes, man. Welcome back to the Mobsters podcast. I'm Melvin.
welcome, Sydney.
I'm Collins.
Casper.
This is episode 153. Not as satisfying as the past few
Yeah.
in terms of numbers.
150.
In terms of numerology.
I guess it's like odd numbers.
Yeah, which is gross, bro. 3 odd numbers.
Yeah.
Insane, bro. Insane.
153.
Yeah. That's nasty.
Then sound rounded to
Is
me.
that a prime number?
Yeah.
Too soon. MJP is
By three.
coming
Ungo,
soon.
you can look at you can look at a 3-digit number. I'm like,
It should be divisible by
You want
three. Like 31, right?
Prime
you want
numbers are divisible, but
No, 51.
you want guys to
51.
think you're a bit tistic. Yeah, way.
what are prime numbers again?
They're not divisible by 2.
They're not
Any
divisible
number?
by
They're
2.
not divisible by any
Olinge.
number. Any whole number.
They're only divisible by themselves, or
Yeah, like they're not divisible by
Something like
any
53
whole
is
number.
actually divisible by 3.
By 3, yeah, it's 50.
yeah,
51
because
times
it,
three.
it because not even that. To know a number is divisible by 3, you sum up the digits. And if you get a multiple of 3, it's divisible by 3. So 153 equals 9. 9 is divisible by 3.
Yo, we didn't
Big
learn
brains,
that.
big
bro.
brains, big brains.
We did not learn
Big
that.
brain. Small shit.
Okay, man.
No,
Yeah,
think
Zach,
of,
but we didn't
think
learn
of
that
any
one.
number. Look at like 48. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3. Like that. That's how you, at least for dividing by 3. That's for me. That was a trick I used
Chinese
to use.
math, bro. I won't lie.
Tough.
That's hard. We didn't
That's your
know
first lesson for the day.
Meanwhile,
First lesson
guys,
for the day.
correct me. I might be wrong. Me, I'm busy applying mascara. I might be wrong. My priorities are elsewhere.
How's everyone feeling, man? How's
I'm
last
feeling-
week for everyone?
Interesting.
I want to get start from the weekend this time. What happened last weekend? Where'd you go last weekend? From here.
I don't remember.
Did you not go for ISL League?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. I think the pod might be too far away from the previous weekend. I don't think we've told guys what we did on our previous weekend in a while. So,
Yeah, I went for ISL League. I was there for a short bit because we had to go elsewhere. Elsewhere is like back to crib, bro. So I was just there for like, 20 minutes? It was cool. It's about the summer, so people are not seen in a bit. Guys coming back from like outside, blah, 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 they were there. But I'll say this, I think it's very far from like town, bro. Does that make sense?
where was it this time?
Like, IUE, dozens.
Okay.
So that's like Kansanga.
Kansanga. Diddy's World.
No.
Isn't IUEA at
but
Diddy's
like,
World?
It's not at Diddy's World. There's a beach.
Isn't it? Oh, the. But
It's
I
not
thought
in the
I thought
amusement park.
IUEA is in.
The university.
Yeah, is in the same fence as Diddy's World.
Yeah, but this is
That's what I
not
thought as well,
inside.
actually.
It's not inside IUE. There is a.
Oh,
the
that
IUE also has a
the
beach
tournament
also.
itself
Yeah.
is not at Diddy's World.
Yeah, that's what it was, man.
That's your
And
end.
the world.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
far
Like,
for
it's very convenient for us, man. So it was even on the way home. Other people, not really. Because I think Legends was convenient, but when their lease ended, I think everyone bounced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good times. Sunday we were chilling as well. Been working the whole week aside Friday because it was July the 4th, which is America's
Holiday.
independence.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I didn't work much yesterday. I did like 1 hour of work, man.
The Americans got independence from the British, huh?
Yeah.
Who did you think they got independence from?
They don't have like a they don't have like a Spanish thing or like a
So let me.
They have a French quarter,
North.
but that is only a particular
Yeah.
part of the US. It's like the, what they call it? The
So-
border to the ocean.
So let me ask this, Melvin. You thought North America was colonized by the.
No. No, I know that thing is Britain, but America is so
coast.
big. America is so big. Sometimes I imagine that like, what does even independence mean for them? Their independence was like 400 years ago, right? When was their independence? Like 300
Was
years
it the
ago.
1800s?
I think 1800s, like 1870s.
1600s, 1800s, something like that.
I feel like sometimes for them, independence means something different. Than
First
for
of all,
us.
you
Have you
know,
watched Hamilton?
white people are not native to America.
I know.
So just like the British do, they came and found Native Americans and colonized.
Why do I be thinking that America has some Nordic jazz in America? There's nothing. Nordic in
America?
Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing Nordic in America.
I mean, throughout the course of its history, people have been immigrating. Like it's a mixing pot.
Many whites.
Yes,
many
very
Europeans.
many different types
Yeah.
of whites. Or there are those people who say, but we came on the Mayflower.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's a ship, bro.
Yeah. What does that mean to me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Came on a Mayflower. Yeah.
Pause.
Okay.
you're pausing coming on the May.
Yeah. See, did it to yourself.
I actually,
yourself.
I hate that you guys have made me this person.
Hate it all you want.
I-
But
That's
hate-
you now.
Hate in the mirror. Hate in the mirror, not at us. Hate, yeah, literally.
No, like in real life, by the way, just so you know,
Yeah.
I don't say that.
This is real life.
No, it's not. When I'm talking to like
Not
my
like a
girls,
break line.
when I'm having real life conversations, I don't say pause. Cause ew.
Depends on who I'm with. If I'm with the boys here,
Yeah.
we'll say it.
I just had
We'll say it.
I had a fire quote. Some chick was saying that her least favorite advice is be yourself, because the Buddhists or the Buddhist monks that you used to talk to, when they would say be yourself, they would ask which one. Yeah, so this is like the version of you that you have on the pod.
Casper,
The version
MJP.
of you with your babes is a different
Yeah.
version. With your friends, a
We like
different
this version.
Zama,
the version
Give
of
it-
you with your girls might not be a co-host on this pod.
Yeah.
Literally.
What
You
does
might
that
be two
mean?
different versions. So, some food for thought, something
Yeah.
to think about, something
You're a
to
fool.
ruminate on.
you're a fool.
What's I going to say?
Yeah.
Also, first of all, shout out the tribe UG. Yeah.
Oh, shout out, yeah.
Shout out the tribe, UG.
we had our podcast was mentioned.
Yeah, by Rudende.
Not
Yep.
radio.
Yeah.
I think Not Radio was taking over.
Yeah,
the
Not
Tribe
Radio
podcast.
took
Yeah.
over, and Rudende said, "But if you ever in the mood to not take yourself too seriously."
That's what I was going. That's what I was like, damn, do we?
Yeah, I was like, is that a compliment or is that a... But I know he
But he
meant
said,
it in
if
the
you
best
want to
way.
listen
Yeah.
to something that doesn't take itself
Too
seriously,
serious,
I was like,
bro, maybe we need to take this thing a
As
little
in-
bit more.
next week I might come in a suit, bro.
As in, no sense is spoken on this podcast.
Too
No, I think
serious
that-
only leaves there the opportunity for us to actually be serious.
Some
at one
room,
point,
yeah, yeah.
And then not wholly.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But
some,
yeah.
some days we'll be serious.
I don't think he was throwing shade.
No, he wasn't.
Because,
Definitely
but
wasn't.
to be fair, I also think that is not radio's style as well. They also
Yes,
don't take
yes,
themselves
yes,
too
yes,
seriously,
yes.
but they have a lot of sense. But they don't
So
take
do we,
themselves
man.
too
So
So
seriously.
why you think that bad? Like as if
Even
us we don't have loads of sense.
No, there
Even
was
us
no
we have a
bad.
lot of
There was
sense,
no
yeah.
bad. It
Even
was
us we have
just
a lot
like
of sense.
food for thought. You get like,
Yeah.
damn.
Anyways, shout out to Not Radio. Shout out to
The Tribe UG.
yeah,
yeah.
shout
Shout out
was
to
nice.
Rudende. Thanks for watching
And Sima.
or knowing who
And
we
to
are.
be fair, man, all these years when like I'd be going to school or going to commuting on my 88.2,
Yeah.
I remember listening to those guys, and I didn't know that they had a podcast, but I remember thinking these guys would have a fire podcast if they ever did one.
Sanyu.
Yeah, Sanyu, Rudende, and
Oh my
Podcast
God.
is
And,
Tribe UG.
no, their podcast is called Not
Not
Radio.
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 But they took over the Tribe UG's podcast last week and
Yeah.
shot an episode.
Oh my, so
Check
like
it out,
was
guys.
high-end.
Do they still shoot Not Radio? I've never listened to Not Radio.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Anyways,
But shout out those guys.
yeah. When the was your week, man.
Maybe I can. My week was normal. Maybe I should start off by talking about what we did after we left off from the pod.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, Melvin and I we went to.
Yeah, on Windek.
Is it called Sundowner?
There was an event.
Yeah.
Yes, it was called Afro Sundowner.
Oh, the one at Design Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it for you? Because I think we had different experiences.
Really?
Yeah. How was it for you?
I actually got threatened.
Are you
Bye.
serious?
Maybe it was as a result of the things I say on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this guy. He's a cool guy. Sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was a good guy. So this guy was introducing me to literally everyone, telling them that this is Windek from the
You're
MJP.
lying.
Yeah, I don't know whether this chick was among the girls he introduced me to. So she came to me. She's like, hi.
Close to you. Hi.
Like, she just came out of the blue. I wasn't even like, I was minding my own business. Then she comes to me. She's like, hi. Like, so she's like, so you think we have nothing to talk about?
Oh.
So me, I'm thinking, is it a girl I got, whose number I got and I never called?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, are you speaking to that
When did
person?
that cancelable?
Yeah.
Do you know how fun it was? Yeah, I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see that's all George has tweeted. Oh,
When
no.
did I cancel?
That's it.
Yeah.
And it was so, like, I was so pla. And so I'm like, are you really speaking to the right person? He's like, yeah, aren't you Windek from the MJP? Now, in my mind, I'm
It
like, what
clicks.
the fuck
Like,
did I say now?
Yeah.
So she was just saying about this thing of me saying that girls have nothing to talk about.
Besides
guys and
pop
boys,
culture
yeah.
and what?
Besides
What did you
pop
guys
culture.
talk about?
Bro, she was there. Okay, she looked pissed because she was holding her cocktail, and I was thinking this chick is gonna throw this
Point
cocktail
on
at
me. Eh?
Like I
Yeah.
probably did something wrong.
Yeah.
And but then she laughed. She had this serious face in the beginning, and then at the end, she was
She
like,
laughed.
"Yeah." I
Okay.
fuck
So
with
did you guys talk about something aside finance? What was it? Economics and pop culture.
Yeah.
Nah, she was cool people.
Yeah.
Okay. There are things to talk about.
Okay. I'm glad the story had a happy ending. Bro. Yeah, but at that event, I'd say like a good 80% of people there were mobsters, bro. I'd say a really good
Mob
like
guys
number
watched
of
the
guys were-
podcast day.
and the guys who were sitting around us, especially, all those guys were so excited to see you, bro. Those guys were gassed to see you. Yeah, man. But shout out to Shona Late. That was a fun event.
Must have been, man.
Sundowner. The attendance was like the group of people that came for it were the right group of guys to come for it. Bro. It started off nice and calm, but guys blended in. I think it had been the marketing was a bit confusing. I thought it was going to be Ali Jamison vibes, where you go there like in the evening, like it's palettes and like you kind of want a bit of the sun.
Is that not
before
what it was?
It was more. It was set up more like we're going to turn up into the night. The seating looked like, bro, we're going to blast through that night.
Yeah.
So I think that was where the disconnect was. It even had like a banner in the front for guys to take pictures. It was set up.
Shout
to
out
be a
Shona
turn-up,
Lay,
bro.
man. Those are our guys as well.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. And I met some interesting people.
These guys are new crush.
Met
I
some-
can bet money.
Met an interesting
Yeah,
group,
why are you
man.
folding your face, man?
You're mad at me having a crush?
First of all, take that back right now before these guys start saying that. Oh my God. Casper, Melvin said he has a crush.
Behind the camera,
Yeah.
rolling her eyes
She was
back.
really like, ew. No. I was replying to
Yeah.
a text, guys. Yeah.
That made you roll your eyes.
Yeah.
They don't have the- whoever you are
No,
texting Casper right now.
the
On
rolling,
Saturday morning at 1:40.
the rolling of eyes looked dramatic because I now have makeup on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I met the loveliest group of I know that they were younger things because they asked me how old I was and didn't tell me how old they were. So I knew for sure that they were
And
younger
I think they know about your policies.
They were young.
I don't know
Your age
actually.
policy.
I
I
don't know if they
mean,
do.
okay, if they listen to the pod, they know about your age
Definitely
policies.
know if they listen
Because
to
it.
whenever they're shooting their shots on the pod, they'd be like, "Novin, I'm 21, but I love you."
See, and I couldn't tell if they listened to the pod,
Look
but they knew
23
the
and
pod.
below.
Yeah, uh-huh.
They knew the pod. Some of them had gone to school with Magic, so they knew the pod because of Magic, and I guess they had seen the clips that are so. But I don't know if they listened to the pod. They were dope. Though,
Estimate
man.
how young though?
I wanna say one of them
Very young below, so.
is just joining uni. The other two had just finished uni, and I think there's a 2-year age gap.
Can I contextualize what just joining uni means? Someone just joining uni, as in September of this year,
Yeah.
is someone who has probably, especially if they were in international school, is someone who has probably in the equivalent of P7 in COVID.
What?
P7
Sorry.
or
COVID
S1.
is 2020.
Actually, right.
COVID is
2020, 5 years ago, S1.
That's nuts, man.
I can tell you what you're doing in COVID. I remember vividly. Yeah, so.
They were hard.
Yo,
though.
we are all-
They were hard. No. They were hard. I didn't do anything. They were hard. They were hard. So shout out to those chicks, man. I had a really good time with them.
Pause.
Pause because I had a good time with those chicks.
Yeah, you can't say
But
that. You can't say that.
really,
Especially if they're just joining uni, you can't say that.
I had a good time with all three of them.
just before this
Even
pod,
worse.
how is that possible?
Yeah, this guy is bugging. This
Ah,
guy is
cool,
bugging.
cool.
I had a lovely time.
Hold up, you guys. You're seriously not going to let me taste your drinks, yeah?
Well, actually, not going to let you.
You're not going to.
No, you see. By the way, if we weren't on camera,
I would have let you.
yeah, Melvin he would have caved.
But I
Same.
can't fold.
Yeah, so yeah.
But
Even
we've already
you.
vowed. We've
But-
already vowed.
But because you've made so much noise, both of you would have folded. But because you've made so much
I'll
noise,
tell you guys this. Credit to Wendy. This guy wouldn't fold. This guy didn't want
but
to-
you two would have folded. But
Maybe. We'll
but
never know.
but because we're on camera and you've made so much noise,
Yeah, and then this guy added now the person who gives over. That's
that's the boyfriend one.
I'm going to chug my
Painting me as
thing,
the
bro.
devil. Why are you guys doing that?
No, you wouldn't have folded. We know it.
Yeah, when wouldn't have folded, but
When
these
he would have
ones.
folded- When he didn't really like alcohol like that, he probably would have folded. He can still fold.
After
When he's
making
out,
that
he's
noise.
still
Bro,
committed.
after the statement you say,
After that noise that has been made.
Eh,
that
good
English
for you.
Just drink your water.
good for you. Good for you.
Drink
Good
your
Anyway,
water, eat
guys,
your fries. and
Casper
then
is looking for a
How's your
new
water?
home.
people know what is.
How's your water?
PH7.
I was doing my makeup, so I haven't yet tried it, but I'm going to try it out. I
You'll
think
tell us.
I think
You'll-
it's the same
you'll
as
tell the
yours.
audience how the water is.
I think it's the same as yours.
How do you guys rate the whiskey sour?
I like it.
Yeah, decent whiskey
Very
sour.
proteinous drink.
Yeah, decent whiskey.
So you don't want my opinion on the drink?
More egg white.
How does it look?
I'm not wearing my glasses.
I see.
Maybe don't see. I guess. Yeah. I like my whiskey sours to have a bit of
Egg white.
froth.
To show the egg white.
Yeah. When I know that egg white is there, but I can taste it in my mouth. Pause. Okay.
But I wouldn't like to test it.
The egg white.
can't
you,
even taste
it.
But see, you can taste it on your tongue. It leaves like a
It looks
film of
slimy.
slime. Yeah.
Yeah.
The alcohol wipes it off.
You'll be tasting
Man, you've
it.
taken one sip.
I have taken.
See, like
a bunch
what
of
I,
sips.
now I can see the egg white. on
Yeah,
top of
it's
yours.
literally here.
That's egg white.
Yeah.
When did I give you his drink? How's your week? How's your week, Casper?
Does it even matter? Let's just start the podcast.
Matters the most because you're the one who's not drinking. There must be a reason.
You know, you can actually look
There's
like
no special reason.
an iced tea.
Iced tea?
It does look like an
Does
iced
look
tea.
like an iced
Does
tea
look
to
like
me,
an
yeah.
iced tea.
Yeah, we might as well just start the pod.
And
This chick is wearing her
piss.
petticoat.
And with your piss.
We really don't take ourselves seriously.
Can you tell us how your week was? Okay, please tell us how your week was. Don't kill me, bro. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Yeah, you guys are too stupid.
Okay, don't tell us. Tell our audience.
tell
Tell
the
our audience how your week
monster.
was.
Since I'm
Yeah.
mad at you guys.
Yeah.
My week was very basic. No, I genuinely don't even have what to say
Okay.
about my week.
You didn't do anything over the weekend?
No, I was supposed to have plans that day. They got cancelled. Sunday is officially my stay-at-home day. Like ever since we started podding on Saturday.
By the way, announcement, we're about to stop podding on Saturday. We are very close. Because right now my need to just do fun shit on a weekend
Yeah,
is coming back. I cannot be as tired as I am
yeah,
every Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're about to figure something else out for the recording schedule. But
yeah.
very, very soon we won't be doing this. on
Like
Saturday.
I feel like Saturday would be the day for socializing, and even after recording, like after we recorded, we've been here for 5 hours, 4 hours. Bro, the energy is
Sacked.
not. Listen. And Sunday is a day for chilling, prepping for Monday, stuff like that. So yeah. But anyway, my week was very uneventful. I don't know why I'm still, but I think this might be a Patreon conversation. Be a Patreon conversation. But yeah, nothing eventful happened. Very boring, very mundane. I might have plans today. I might not. I might cancel.
That face is beat fully.
Badly,
Fully beat,
bro.
Fully battered, bro.
Is it a mixer?
Looks like a boxer.
Yeah.
Why is she looking more animated?
First remove your shades, man.
Well, but it's your. I'm looking more
Animated, as in, like,
animated.
Like
The
the
makeup is
expressions,
like-
Every facial expression is
magnified.
Yeah.
That's what a face beat will do. A face beat.
Her eyes are swinging, but I
face
tell
beat.
you, I tell you now it's also
A
like,
face beat.
it's not just how she looks, it's how she feels as well, you get.
I've
Yeah.
Face beat is
died.
like drugs for the face.
Minute. It's the
enhances.
it's the most
All the
minute
features.
face beat
Nah,
I
I'll tell
could
you guys,
manage
her
to do.
eyes purple, bro. That
Yeah.
smoky
minute.
thing, bro.
Yeah.
It was the most minute.
That's minute to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they had a
Maybe I'm
compare
just-
it with like
it looks
12
good.
different
Maybe
colors.
I'm among the
looks
guys
good,
who are
it
not
looks
used to her in this state.
I mean, I've seen her.
You've been
Familiar.
You're
I've
familiar.
seen more.
The hair is also beat, bro. I don't know what
No,
to call that.
you
Actually,
can't.
like, I really want you to like undo it. Can I be there when you're undoing it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Undo the
pinned
hair.
up.
Yeah,
Wait,
because it's
wait,
pinned
wait.
right now.
It's
So it
pinned.
drops
I've
it,
seen
it's
the
going to
pins,
drop.
Yeah, it's
I was wondering like if you got a
Can
hair.
you be there when she's undoing it?
When she's undoing her hair.
Yeah.
Because right now it's
Why do you
pinned
want
up.
to be there?
Hey, I can't get the full experience.
Woma, you can. Woma, you can.
Nah.
I wanted to. I was going to remove the. I was going to. Right.
when like United is
I was
playing,
going
like,
to remove the pins right now, but then I decided to first eat. But
Okay.
yeah, I put them in after curling it so that it remains curled.
It does look very cold.
Yeah. So now when I remove them and then I let it down and comb it out to be
Let's
wavy.
look at this. I want to see the
hard,
back.
hard. See, it's pinned together.
Yeah.
I see it from
Looks
the
hard
back.
though. Hey, yo.
The Windex is on a roll today. I
What
don't
does
know
he say?
We want to see it from the back. The hair.
Wendy, and
do your thing.
this is one sip of whiskey.
One sip.
Anyway.
This guy's glass is still
Don't
here.
get this shit twisted, bro. I'm sober.
You're Wendy, the counselor.
I'm sober.
Anyway, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi.
If you're new here, hi. If you're old here, welcome back. This is the Mobsters Podcast, your favorite audio visual podcast.
Yep.
Available wherever you get podcasts.
Someone is
So-
48.
If you're listening, watching, and you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube, well gone. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know every single time that we post. There are guys who'll be racing to be the first to comment, and man,
Shout out those guys, man.
guys are beating you to it. But yeah, we love it. We love the engagement. Feel free to like, share, comment. We love hearing what you guys have to say. We love it whenever you guys correct us because like we've said a million times before, this is trust me, bro science, yeah? No proof.
Not all of it.
Yeah, most of the time. But yes, we love your feedback. We love the engagement. We love it when if we're jazzing nonsense. Yeah. Also, hit us up on all our socials, the Mob Jazz Podcast, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok. Yeah, we're there. Engage, tell a friend to tell a friend. And then most importantly, Patreon. Patreon is the app through which we facilitate
We broke the $500 barrier, bro.
Yeah, I saw, man. I saw.
Yeah, bro. Shout
Yeah.
out.
and I'm still not going to take
Cheers,
the drink.
patrons. Cheers, patrons, man.
Cheers, patrons. Anyway,
That's 100 guys.
you're so petty.
Yum. What a yum
Anyway, so Patreon is the app through which we facilitate this podcast and produce it.
Facts,
Without the patrons, we wouldn't be here today. So please, guys, add us on Patreon. Subscribe to our Patreon. It will run you only $1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USD. It will give you access to 2 podcasts a week, early access to merch, early access to anything we have going on.
And remember, do not pay through Apple.
And
Do not pay on your
Don't
phone.
give them your money.
yes,
Don't give
pay
them
on
your
your
money.
computer. It will you will not have to forego the fee that Apple charges.
30%, right?
Yeah, 30% or $5
On top of your.
on top of the $5. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
And that 30% didn't come to us.
Apple has enough money.
You get.
They are worth over $3 trillion. What?
You get.
Something like that.
Let them relax.
Chill.
So yeah, add us up on Patreon, and trust you me, I wish the patrons, the newest patrons, could. The patron number is growing.
It is.
That aside,
It is.
I wish the newest patrons could comment on the main YouTube, like of how guys come to Patreon and realize, bro, Patreon jazz is the jazz.
Unhinged.
We're less censored, less PC. We get to be as honest as we can
Full
possibly.
cocktail in. You get like sometimes it's.
Yeah,
But
man.
drink some beers. I'll tell you, yeah.
I just don't think it like I took mob.
Yeah. Just a
That was
six
more
pack.
for her.
Just a 6-pack only. 1 6-pack.
Let's not do this. The patrons know the truth. But yeah, man. I guess that's it. Welcome back to the Mobsters Podcast.
Yes.
Welcome.
Speaking of comments, man, guys were killing me in the comments this week, bro. Apparently, I learned this week. You can reverse engineer a guy's height from his BMI. So
I saw that.
when
Yeah.
Casper read my BMI, guys reversed it.
No,
and the
your
weight.
BMI and your weight.
Yeah.
To calculate BMI, you use your weight and
Weight
your
and
height.
Yeah. They reversed it and they came up with what my height is. So as things stand right now, I'm a 5'6" man. According to our audience,
The
I'm
5'6".
5'6".
The 5'6" thing got me.
Seriously, bro.
Ongo,
I was like,
Mr. 5'6".
Mr. 5'6".
That thing killed me. I was like, that's
Hilarious, bro.
what?
How tall are you?
5'3".
Yeah.
That thing
5'6" is too funny, bro.
killed me, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I guess I'm 5'6", man.
That's
I guess
funny.
I'm 5'6".
Nada, he's not. Because that makes me 5'6" as
That
well.
is
Nada.
hilarious, bro. That just killed me. You guys
But
were
then,
killing me
and
with
then
that
at the same time, I was just like, you guys are too curious, for God's sake. Like,
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Listen.
The one that killed me was that IG comment where Casper the knife. The guy was like, I can see Casper's knife face in the reflection of the
I
knife.
was like,
huh?
first of all, stop riling guys up. Like, stop
Yeah.
inciting something
Yeah.
you cannot see. You were seeing Sydney's reflection.
Yeah.
Secondly, as in,
Yeah. Me, I love it, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, me, I
a bunch
love
of
it.
guys texted me because of that thingy.
Yeah.
Like, man, you like being cut, man. Like, what are you into? I was like, nah, it was a joke, man. It's more like a fetish to you. Yeah, guys thought I'm like, guys.
every joke has just a little bit of truth to it.
Nah, not that one.
Nada. Yeah. So that was really fun. What was interesting happened with the Mobsters this week? At this thing that we went for, it might actually be the same chick, but guys were cooking me for Jessica Lupo, bro. Guys were cooking. Like, yo, you don't know the vice president of this country. I was like, guys, I got it right.
Listen, I wish Sydney was
After,
there
like,
because
thinking for, like,
Sydney saying
30
Kwame
minutes.
Nkrumah was from Liberia was
Yo,
too
relax.
much for my mind.
It was, man.
But they don't teach us that in school.
Kwame Nkrumah is not taught to you in school.
They didn't teach us Kwame Nkrumah.
So where
teach that in
they taught that the
What did
guy
they
who,
teach us?
who fought for Ghana's independence.
Yeah.
It's what course unit was that? Or what thing?
Course unit.
What's in it?
That was
SST.
SST,
They
man.
teach us that in SST.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about other countries in SST?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
Listen,
serious?
no,
Yeah.
we weren't going so deep in it. We were just
But we knew the Pan-Africanists.
Yeah, look at it
Yeah.
and like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not
outer
remember
side.
that in the slightest. Who was they teach us about necessity?
Who?
Who else did they teach us about in necessity? They teach us about Sankara.
Nah, no.
Nah.
Who did teach us that?
I don't even remember. But I
Gaddafi.
remember.
They teach us about Gaddafi.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Necessity.
They did, yeah.
Who else?
Okay.
Mandela, Kwame
They taught us
Nkrumah,
about like the guys who
Jomo
got
Kenyatta.
independence for their countries.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there was-
SST.
Yeah, I think there were
Yeah.
like popular countries like Ghana.
Yeah.
Though I don't remember us talking about Nigeria.
Okay, but now that I think about it, I feel like was this
Everything
O
I know
level
about-
history
everything
or
I
was
know-
this SST?
No, it was
For
SST
me,
Civics.
Everything I know about like Pan-Africanist leaders, I feel like I learned about on my own. I don't know why.
The details, yes.
Yeah, I
the
don't know
details.
why.
But like when we were younger in civics, we used to know those guys. About Arab Moi, what, all them man. We knew them.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting, bro. Why can't I remember any of this? Anyway.
And yeah, like even me when I said Liberian Kwame Nkrumah, I was also shocked. I was like,
yeah.
relax.
It was a
Surprise
stretch.
yourself.
It was
I
a
was
stretch.
like, damn.
I remember when I was studying for the pre-entry of undergrad pre-entry because I was trying to go to MOOC.
Did you do the mock pre-entry?
I didn't do it. I should have failed.
What
Lucky I failed.
Oh
it.
wait.
I
Like,
didn't
oh,
have
you
that.
didn't meet the pass mark to do that. Oh, okay.
Pass mark was quite low.
Yeah.
Now, why are you?
Let's not say it
I'll be
because
honest.
That one is one where they
Pass mark was
changed the grading.
That-
so,
yeah.
They lowered everything.
that
Yeah, I
that
did
pass
not,
mark was quite low. So let's
fairly
not
low.
let's not
Fairly
say
I
it.
remember.
Listen, but I'm here.
Guys, just so you know,
I'm here.
I
I'm
also
practicing.
tried to do law.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
you
meet
failed
that
the
pass mark.
pre-entry.
You're calling.
You didn't meet the pass
I
mark.
did the coaching. Then there's one of our boys down there. I asked him like, "Yo, man, have you guys been coaching?" No, like I wanted to do it. I wanted to do the pre-entry. This guy told me I'd been coaching for months. Oh, me who had been playing in VAC, I child.
It actually didn't need coaching.
And me, I was
But also
preparing
they
for
used
it.
to release the results all over Uganda. I don't want my name to be there and I have 48. Relax.
I was preparing for it and I learned a bunch of things about Africa, bro. I knew capital cities. I knew about. I had like a notebook that I would recite every day. I was so ready for that pre-entry, bro.
Are you serious?
Ouagadougou,
Do you know-
you knew
Ouagadougou,
Do you
bro.
know that day?
Just talking about the general knowledge.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an aptitude test.
it's an aptitude test, so it was comprehension. My bag is comprehension, right?
Yeah, same.
So it was comprehension and
What you did
grammar.
in GP. In our year.
I don't remember. Our GP paper was really hard in our year.
Nada.
For me, it was hard.
Because comprehension was okay. Which one had the number plates? That's not comprehension, right?
No, that was logic
Logic. Yes.
in GP. But the pre-entry was, it's like, okay, at least in our year, it was like 50%,
You guys had the same exam.
Yeah, we're in the same year.
We're all in the same year.
We're in the same year.
Yeah.
50% English, so grammar and comprehension. Then like 30% general knowledge, then like, no, 25% general knowledge, and then like 25% logic, right? Logic, I didn't bother wasting my good time because I knew I'd fail it. So I was doing my paper out of about 70%. I didn't do anything in logic. The general knowledge was.
This is the
Was it
pre-entry.
This is pre-entry. I found out that Fort Porto is not a district that day. The first one of the questions was, in which district is Fort Porto? I said, you're bugging. What do you mean? Is this a trick? Is in Fort Porto in Fort Porto?
Change Jojo.
No, Cabarole. Change Jojo.
Aren't you close? But
I'm
that
actually learning this
It's
right
Cabarole.
now. as well.
It's
Yeah,
Cabarole.
Yeah, Cabarole is a
So
district.
I come out of the paper having written Fort
But
Porto.
aren't they close to each other? Change Jojo and
I
Kabarole.
have no clue.
Ndibujo
I think
and
they are.
Cabarole are close. But Change is also around
Yeah,
there,
I think because I know I go through Change Jojo to go.
I came out of that paper having written Fort Porto in capital letters
Yeah.
as the capital city of Fort. I mean, as the district of
You thought
Fort
they made a
Porto.
mistake.
Eh?
You thought they made a mistake.
No, I thought it was a
Well,
trick.
that's not
confuse you.
Yeah.
I thought it was a trick question. So I come out and then guys are like, I can't believe they asked about Fort Porto. It's obviously covered. I was like, it's obviously.
Yeah. Mind you, it's good government. So I guess a bunch of guys failed. Yeah, man. Anyways, bruh. What are we discussing today?
Should you
man?
just send into MJPS with that?
But I didn't even talk about my weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You didn't?
Let's not talk about it.
Why?
You talk
And
about
then
my
my week-
Sunday.
What did you do? You did something special on Sunday.
I went to Kepasa
¿Qué pasa? For what?
just to listen to their music.
Hey.
They also have
Very
something.
Mexican.
Yeah, I'd have something similar to that of what? What is this gua?
Kadawan?
Cardamom. Yeah, fry
Oh yeah, on Sundays. Yeah, I used to go for that
yes, I
a long
remember.
time ago.
What do they do?
It's like an
Also
open
like-
mic thing.
Yeah.
Open mic?
No, a guy first
Really?
sings like
Yeah.
with a guitar.
Mm.
I don't know if it's still the same guy, a guy with dreads.
Yeah, he was in Buddha.
Yeah, they were there.
You know,
When
guys.
I went there, there were two guys.
Mm.
Yeah, but the guy with the dreads wasn't singing. There was another guy who had no dreads.
Mm.
He was the one who was singing.
Mm.
Nice. Last week you were really outside, bro.
Man, I was going to say okay, Sydney always has a social life. Wait, all of you guys have social lives.
Technically,
I'm going to work on this.
my social life nowadays is actually much less than it used to be. Much less.
Well, my social life is more like a comet. It just appears once in a while, bro.
Comment.
Now me, I'm going to be outside this
This summer,
between this month and September. I'll
Summer.
be places.
Summer.
I'll be places.
You've seen those who... Okay, you guys probably watch TikToks, but those reels of Ankh Summer. Of the guys dancing like...
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
going
I
to
love-
be me this summer.
What's
you
that
guys.
song?
no, wait.
Cats
In
later.
Yeah.
What's the song?
Cats later.
What
No,
song?
never like a cats later. No, never.
I
You know
don't
that
know.
song? You've had that song.
You've had that song.
That's
You've
on
had that
TikTok.
song. You've had that
Post me. I don't.
You've had it.
Eh?
I had you hearing
You've
it.
had it.
I know you had it.
Hearing it is nuts.
You remember that day I had it?
I remember.
Don't lie. I had you here.
Yeah. Yeah, man. My week was interesting. Like I said, I had a good time on Saturday last weekend. There's something actually that I tried last weekend. Maybe I'll talk about it on Patreon. But you guys know what Jabba Juice is? Jabba Juice. I'll tell you my Jabba Juice experience on Patreon if you remind me.
Okay.
We shall
I'll
remind
I'll
you,
remind you.
That I want to know. I want to know.
Besides Jabba Juice, great time.
Shout
at
out
the-
Kenya, man. Shout out
Yeah.
Kenya. Yeah.
Great time at the Shonale event. Like I said, met very interesting people. Sunday, it rained very heavily on Sunday. It rained very.
I don't
heavily
remember
on
my
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, it rained heavily on Sunday. But last Sunday, I had this family event that I have every month with my cousins. Wonderful time we were hosting. So, like really good food, fun games. It's an investment club, so we like discuss the business. It was dope, man. Like those family events for me, like they recharge me, bro. Like I always leave feeling fully recharged, bro, refocused.
That's
So
really
that's what it did
cute.
for me. Monday was the 30th. So, in fact, my plan on Monday was to review our goals so that I could come and discuss them this weekend. But I blundered. I was supposed to just go straight. I wanted to go to like some health club, just exercise, be by the pool all day, like reviewing the quota, planning for the next one. Instead, I said, let me just pass by the office real quick
Impossible.
and have a meeting or two. And then, brother, I got to the office I got there late. I overslept because we had been hosting on Sunday. I got to the office at like maybe 9:30. I left the office at 4 p.m.
You worked a full day.
They are quick.
No lunch.
You worked a full day.
I was like, bruh, I'm never doing this again. So I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be able to like completely like decompress and like plan for the quarter, and review our goals for last quarter and how we did. Yeah, so then Tuesday I traveled to Nebi. I had court in Nebi on Wednesday.
damn.
Yeah, so I was on the road.
Yeah.
I went in a better car than I did last time. So the trip was much smoother. I also went with a better driver. Yeah, really interesting. I don't know if this happens for everyone, but also when I'm on the road, I think very clearly. I don't know if it has that effect for everyone, but you have more time to just think. So I thought very clearly, but also I'm clearly extremely tired, bro. I was like an old man on that trip. I kept dozing off, waking up.
Should I plug you with some supplement?
No. I'm just
Ginseng.
tired. I just need a break, bro. I need like 2 weeks.
When is code vacay?
It's in a week. It's next week, the 15th. The 15th next week?
Monday is the 7th, Thursday is the 10th. The other week.
Yeah. The 15th is when it begins. But guys, I have so much work.
When even during vacay?
Yes. So I don't know when I'll take the break, but I need like 4 weeks of not thinking. So I'm now like in that mode where I'm trying to push things and speed things up so that I can get my break as soon as possible. Yeah, but I need a break. I'm exhausted. Even when I was coming for this pod, I was just like, Like last night was my cousin Eric's birthday. We had
Shout
Eric on
out
the pod
Eric,
before.
man.
Birthday or grad?
Sorry, grad.
Grad.
His birthday though was 2 days before his grad. So I got home at midnight. But I remember when I got home, I was like, damn, I have to be up tomorrow at 7 to go do this and this and this and this, and then I have to be on time for the pod, and then I need a break.
I was shocked when you called me as early as you did, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that early.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my week, man. That was my week. We can get into topics now. What are we discussing first?
First of all, R.I.P. Diogo Jota.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
28-year-old Liverpool footballer, Portuguese, passed away yesterday morning, or not the other
Before
morning.
that, yeah.
In a car accident with his brother, man.
Yes.
And one of my boys brought it up that this is like the first famous footballer that like our generation has lost, because our parents saw a bunch of guys like collapsing on pitch.
On the pitch, yeah. Him, it wasn't that.
Yeah, man. This was like a car crash. We did lose Emiliano Sala though.
But not the same.
He just
Not the
wasn't as
same.
big as Jota.
Yeah, not the same.
Yeah, so Jota and his brother Andre Silva. Not to be confused.
With the footballer, Andre Silva.
Yeah, this guy is also footballer.
Oh, shit,
But
was he?
in Portuguese League 2.
Okay.
The Andre Silva in Leipzig.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's sad because he had also just got married. I think 10 days, 11 days before.
5 days, I thought.
Nah, that's when it was announced.
Okay.
Yeah. Leaves behind 3 kids and 3 dogs and a wife, man, at the age of 28.
Bro, this thing is so sad. I saw someone saying that Jota last month won the Premier League, the Nations League,
And got married.
He
and
got
got
married.
married
All in the space
in the
of
same
a
month. And he's dead this month, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it really sets things in perspective. Life is so random, bro.
Yeah.
So unpredictable.
And you can know that he was a loved guy by like the reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Very loved guy.
Yeah, but like he lived like an admirable life. He achieved more than 90% of footballers will ever achieve.
Yeah.
Was he in a Champions League Liverpool team? No, he came after.
I don't think so. I think he came right after because he went there in 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the year they lost the final.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
but then they won. They won after. They lost. Then they
2021
won.
was Chelo, meaning they must have lost in 2019.
Yeah. I'm not too certain. But I think he won everything. I can't remember.
But I think he came after. I wouldn't know actually.
Because I remember he played in that lockdown season where there were no fans.
He came in 2020.
That's when
yes.
he came.
Yes,
That's when
yes,
he
yes,
arrived.
yes.
And I think they won after that.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyways, man, incredible player, super duper clutch.
Yeah.
He didn't really have too many gaps in his game, man. Like
Yeah.
he was
Lovely
just like
player.
and he always seemed super humble, bro. Called zero attention to himself, gave 100% on the pitch. There's no surprise that he's as loved as he was.
Yeah, that thing shook me, man. I think it had the same effect on me that Kobe did. It's just like seeing like a personality like that pass, just like that. And lovely thing is they retired his jersey number. And yesterday night Liverpool said they would pay out the rest of his contract, the remaining 2 years to his family.
Okay.
So
that's respectable.
yeah.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
R.I.P.
man, Diogo Jota.
R.I.P. Diogo Jota.
On to more news. You guys can decide if this is tragic or not. Let's talk about Diddy.
That's tragic.
Following our conversation last week, for those of you who finished the pod on dating billionaires,
Oh yeah, the billionaire thing.
this week, the jury gave a verdict on the Diddy trial, and he was found not guilty of 3 out of 5 counts. He was only found guilty of 2 counts of prostitution. Yeah, man. So I'm very curious about your thoughts.
Rico is Kawa too.
The RICO is cleared.
Not guilty.
Trafficking is cleared.
Yeah.
He was only found guilty
Pretty
of
much all the major charges.
Over transportation, or what?
for the purpose of
Transportation.
prostitution.
For the purpose
or
of
something like that,
prostitution.
something like that.
But the 2 trafficking charges and the RICO, not guilty.
And I think in essence that means it's clear that he paid people and moved them for the purpose of having sex. That's it. And I don't know if that amounts to trafficking necessarily, but that's what they found him guilty
A
of.
separate
Prostitution,
charge.
they found him,
Yeah.
or paying for prostitution or something along those lines. You guys will
in the near
fact check us in the comments. But
Because I know he
was
hasn't
found-
yet been sentenced. It was just a
Not
verdict.
yet.
Yeah.
Now, it's important to note that the 2 things they found him guilty of carry 10 years, a maximum of 10 years each.
It's 10 years each, not 10 years total.
No.
10 years
A
each.
maximum of 10 years each. So there's still a chance that he can get 20 years.
I'm crossing fingers, toes, and my tongue.
But
The judicial system there, man. Just uncross.
a guy can get 10 years and serve 2 and have probation of 18 years.
Yeah.
At least, depending on how good his lawyers are.
And depending on the person to be
Sure.
fair.
And probation of 18 years for a billionaire, it's not the same as a regular guy. The worst thing I can do to him is maybe say, you can't leave the country for the
And
duration
in
of
one
your
place,
probation. And he's 50 years old. So maybe that.
Wait, in the
But
States, if
besides
you're on
that-
probation, are you not allowed to move to other states?
You might not be allowed to leave
Depends
the country.
on
You might
the
not be allowed.
judge.
Depends on the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when they're counting the years, do they count day and night, or they
They
just
count
count?
it. No,
the
no, no. That day and night
24
thing.
hours?
That day and night thing I think might have been cap.
You guys, I want to know where that day and night thing
It
came from.
It was day. I remember there was a case where I read,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's exactly.
Is that day and night thing here?
I don't think so.
Because I want to tell you,
If it's here, it's probably.
Because if we're
voted
saying
from
day and night, that means if I serve 1 year, I'll serve 2.
yes. And
No,
and
there's no way.
maybe one might argue, I wasn't the best law student, right? Today, there's nothing I do that involves criminal law. But for the last 7 years, not heard of day and night.
Never.
First ask.
Never.
First
That day
ask.
and night thing is not here.
First ask chat.
So it's a valid thing.
I don't think it's a valid thing. I think it's a
No, I'm
law.
saying I've not heard of day and night.
There's a law case I read about it from back in the day,
Yeah.
and it was
Uganda.
there, but I think it was what the judge said, not exactly that this sentence is 10 years equals 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen that day and
Not
night
in
thing.
Uganda. It was an American thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so thoughts, man, on the Diddy verdict. How do you guys feel about it?
First of all, I feel duped, bro. I won't lie to you.
You
I
feel
really
duped?
Feel duped.
Okay.
Because, like, if you've been looking at the trial, it was
It's
almost
actually day and night.
It's day and
24
night?
hours, yeah.
90
I've
day
seen
and
it
night
before.
as 1 day, not as 2
The
days.
day and night thing is, do they count the daytime as 1 day and the nighttime as a second day?
They count 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then it's not
That's
day
a
and
day.
night.
Like a day.
That's a
oh,
day.
then that's a day.
Yeah.
Forgotten what I was saying.
You feel duped.
Yeah, I feel duped, man.
So it's calculated based on calendar days, not shift days.
Perfect.
As like the day shift and the night shift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, makes sense then.
You feel duped. Why?
Because if you've watched the proceedings, you could see that there was, I guess maybe the settlement before played a part. Did it? Do you think it did?
Or that it probably swayed the jury.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to me that all 3 of those counts were illegal, especially the RICO one.
Like we're not satisfied, we're not proved. That makes sense to you that those 3 counts were not proved.
Yes, it does not make sense to me. Because maybe there's a legal thing I don't understand, yeah? I'm not a lawyer, so maybe there's something I don't understand. But to me, it was so evident, and it seemed to at least 70% of the rest of the world, it was evident. So, like, how, bro? How? There must be like a legal loophole his lawyers used, because you know they're good lawyers. The billionaire he probably had the best in the game.
But then also remember, you're not trying to convince lawyers. You're not even trying to convince a judge.
Yeah, you're trying to convince a jury.
You're trying to convince a
One
jury of
thing
your
his
peers.
lawyers were good
So
at.
the common man,
Yeah.
you get.
Now, one thing
So
his
I feel
lawyers
like
were good at, were doing that. That one I can say.
So I feel like now if it's the common men that are in charge of the decision making, because if it were this side, for instance, if it was here in Uganda, now that's where you'd be trying to exercise all the different like legal loopholes or whatever, because here the judge understands what is the burden of, what's it called?
Proof.
Burden of proof, all of
Standard
that.
of proof.
What's the standard of proof? What are the ingredients of each offense? And does the prosecution's case meet all ingredients satisfactorily, whatever? However, I assume, at least, that in my opinion, that if you're convincing
A jury.
a commoner, a layman, I would assume, anyway, it might be harder,
Yeah.
but I would assume that it might be easier to sway a common man than it is to bang out each offense and you start meeting, okay, for the offense of RICO, you need to meet the following requirements.
No, but I'll tell you this. yes, you're trying to convince a jury and they're
Yes.
not legal professionals.
Yes.
But the purpose of the judge in that case is to ensure that the jury is aware of what needs to be proved for each offense. So when the jury is in deliberation, they keep asking the judge to kind of like remind us, what do they have to prove for this one?
But it's still not, Melvin, it's still not the same. If
I
I
know.
tell you the components of fraud and I tell Sydney the components of fraud and I give you a scenario, the way you would analyze that scenario to look for what amounts to fraud and the way Sydney will not be the same.
And
Yes,
I'm not a
but you
dumb
see,
guy.
what
Yes,
kept
so like-
happening?
You're not a dumb guy, but you're not a lawyer.
What kept happening?
You're
was
fake.
I saw that the jury asked the judge a few questions, like during deliberation. And it's a public trial, so they keep on letting you know when the jury is asking the judge questions. All the questions the jury was asking was about elements. What do they have to prove for this and this? And you know, as a layman, it makes you now question yourself. Like, okay, I know I see it this way, but what is it in the law? So you kind of now overthink it and you're like, okay, but this is what they should have proved. Yes, they showed that he's like this and he's like this and he's like this, but this is what they were supposed to prove. And I'm not sure if they proved that. And mind you, they have to agree. It has to be unanimous, right?
Is it?
Yes.
No,
That's
for
like-
a guilty verdict, it has to be unanimous. I don't think for a not guilty
I
verdict
think
it
it's
has
for
to.
both.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have
You're
to
say-
agree.
How many?
Our chat correspondent.
If
first
they don't
check.
agree, I think it's hung.
How many thingies won the jury?
14? Is it 14?
Oh.
How many guys are on the jury?
You're telling me that
What will they be checking?
14 people said
Agreed that they
for
didn't
these
prove
3
legal.
charges were not convinced.
Here's my
Yeah.
thing. Remember the first time we talked about this on the pod? I think you weren't there that time. That's one of the pods you missed. But my worry was that him accepting that these things happened would sway the jury in a way, because it would be like, yes, I did this, yes, I did that,
But it wasn't that.
but it wasn't illegal.
There are 12
Not-
members.
12.
12, yeah, there were 12.
Not it wasn't illegal. It wasn't the crime
Rico.
I'm being charged with.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't
Like,
illegal.
what I meant was, yes, this
I'm
happened.
freaky. I abuse
Yes.
women,
Uh-huh.
but I don't
However-
traffic them.
Yes.
Yes.
Charge me of domestic violence. Charge me of assault.
Mm.
You have me there.
But now the issue is,
But don't
they
charge
had
me.
settled that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he already had a civil settlement with Cassie.
Yeah.
There's a chick there, Jane Doe, he didn't have a civil settlement with her.
Yeah, the gender
So
he did not.
She
yes.
could have. But they chose to charge him with the heaviest thing.
But isn't Jane Doe still, okay, not still, but isn't her relationship with him more recent?
It's still ongoing.
It's
He's
still
paying her
ongoing,
rent.
yes.
He's still paying her rent. He's still giving her money, a
Yes.
monthly sum.
Stipend, yeah.
But another thing is, if they had chosen to charge him with domestic violence and whatnot, it would not have been a federal trial.
Yeah.
Would have
Yes.
now had to be a state trial, and like it's different.
I want to ask you this.
So do you think they overshot with the charges?
No,
I think he
I
just
think
had
they
a-
thought they could prove it.
Yeah.
That's the legal
Because the
knowledge.
charges
I
made
want-
sense to me.
Yeah, I want to understand this thing, yeah? Can the prosecuting side appeal in case they're not satisfied with the final
They can.
verdict?
They
Yeah,
can,
they
but
can.
you're spending the government's money.
You're wasting state
You're
resources.
spending the people's money. So you can't just appeal. Because first of all, those state attorneys of that side, the attorney generals of that side, I think they are voted.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have to run. So you can't just move, man, they beat us, so we should know. It has to be something that the public is going to back you following. Because you can end up losing your position by pursuing the Diddy thing. You know what I mean?
I forget.
the stakes
Which
are higher.
state was this trial in again?
You know New York?
New York, I think.
I want to say New York.
New York. Because
Yeah.
it was
New
more
York,
like
yeah?
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's New York.
And also, I want to understand this other thing. You know, like, I like how the Americans do it, but
Yes.
putting the burden of defining one man's fate on one person, it's not a good thing. The jury system is, I
Better?
feel like it's a better way to do it.
It's called, even
Yes,
here,
yes,
These are regular people who are
Even
living in
here-
the regular world.
even here we have a system of assessors. It's kind of similar to the jury. Not as many people, and the assessors kind of just give an opinion. Their opinion is not final. No.
Yeah.
The judge or the magistrate still decides. We also have a system here of assessors, though. But I'll say this: maybe you guys should first finish, then I'll.
Because
I'll
let me
end
tell
it.
you, in such a scenario, like,
Yeah.
if someone killed a baby and this judge is a woman, I feel like there would be some bit of personal, like she will base on her personal like experience as a woman to judge this guy.
100%. There's a bit of a bias for sure.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, first of all, jurors also are basing on personal opinions. And I would...
It's a group of men and women.
So your thing is...
In order to reach a final verdict or like to say that this person is actually guilty, it has to be like unanimous.
Your issue is it unanimous being one person and not a sample space of what society is.
Exactly, yeah.
You guys would know better, man. I don't know much.
I see what you mean.
For me, I feel like if we're going to, I would rather, or maybe this is the lawyer in me, I would rather the opinion be made by someone who is basing on, yes, because we're all human beings, both personal bias, but also legal knowledge and experience. Because to be a judge, especially handling such matters, at least in Uganda, you're not fresh out of uni. You need to have accumulated a certain amount of experience to be in whatever category you might be falling in, whether high court, court of appeal, whatever. So I'm assuming you have experience in it, like you've tried a number of, like, let's say murder cases, a number of, right? So you've gotten some experience, not to mention what you've learned, stuff like that. As opposed to my fate, because I feel like Kawa, they're explaining things to a jury, but wouldn't a jury be swayed more by the court of public opinion?
No. Actually, when the juries are in the process of trying to solve something,
or that they have no access. They have no access to the outside world.
However, they try to. Of course, they're going to be swayed somehow, but like they're in a room. The public is not in that room.
No, yeah, but then also secondly, now imagine you're trying someone like Diddy. You think Sean Diddy Combs' love is walking to that court and you don't know who he is.
No, but see, let me tell you, the things that the jury has seen in that court.
Maybe they'll get people from a different generation.
They get from old generation.
I want you to know, it's the older generation that knows.
Those guys knew Diddy.
Yeah.
Because the jury selection was also...
Everyone knows Diddy. But you see, this is the thing. The type of things that jury has seen, we're never going to see. That trial, this trial in particular, it was so graphic. You know, these guys were watching 40-minute freak-offs.
Yeah.
As in, with headphones on and screens in front of them. These guys were watching basically sex tapes for 40 minutes. So the perspective those guys have, completely different from ours. Us were just hearing about this jazz.
Yeah.
We're hearing Cassie saying, oh, he was pissing in my mouth. Oh, this is... Bruh. For them, they know. So if you're telling that guy, man, you're biased, bruh, do you know what I've seen?
Yeah.
I've seen all these things and I'm still telling you this guy is not guilty of what they charge him with. Anyway, land your point and then I'll go.
No, but...
I can go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Let me start by saying this. I practice criminal law.
Yeah.
I've been in a few criminal trials. I still have ongoing criminal trials. In fact, the thing I had gone for in Nebi this week was a criminal trial. I need to first of all thank this chick on TikTok called I'm Not a Lawyer, but I actually don't know her real name. But that chick is incredible, bro. I watched her throughout the YSL trial. She broke everything down beautifully. So when this Diddy trial began, I knew. From the moment that Diddy was arrested, in fact, no, from the moment his house was raided, this chick has been reporting on this thing. The amount of details she gives, the way she explains everything, amazing. So, I remember the first time we discussed Diddy on this pod, when the trial had just begun. I think we discussed it in week 1 of the trial. The trial has been like 4 weeks. So, we discussed it after week 1, and I watched it on her page. I didn't watch anything else until the verdict. But after the verdict, I started from where I stopped. So everything is very, very fresh in my mind of the testimonies, all of that. Now, what you guys need to understand about criminal trials, that burden of proof and standard of proof thing, it's no joke, but also it's no mistake. The stakes in criminal trials are so high because you're playing with someone's life. When this guy goes
in... Is American standard the same as ours?
Yes. And you see, like, for example, those 2 other charges, trafficking and the RICO charge, both carry a maximum of life. So the amount of pressure that the jury is under in that trial to say, okay, this guy did these things and we're sending him to jail forever. It's high pressure. That's a guy who you're telling him, bro, we've seen what you've done and you deserve to be in jail for life. It's a lot of pressure for anyone. So that's the first thing. But secondly, the prosecution in this case, in this Diddy trial, they did a wonderful job of exposing Diddy. He was exposed, bro. They've changed Diddy's perception to the world forever. No one will ever be able to look at Diddy the same way. He can no longer get off that Mr. Love jazz. He can no longer get off that, like, let's be positive jazz. He can, like, and I'll say this as a guy who was a Diddy fan, bro. And when I say I was a Diddy fan, that Love album he put out, I think I talked about it on
Guys, I want you guys to know Melvin is a Diddy fan, a Chris Brown fan, and an R. Kelly fan. Rest with that. We continue.
I don't know what it's about the criminals.
You love them.
They're bangers, bro. And you know,
they're a bit psychotic.
But I'll say this about Diddy in particular. It's so mad, hearing the things that this guy was doing. Because for me, honestly, he's a man who has a problem. He is an addict or he has some sort of mental issue. Maybe he might be a bit like psychopathic. He has an issue. That was plain and clear from the testimonies and from the evidence and the texts and the calls. Because there were a lot of calls, bro.
Yeah.
There were a lot of voice notes in this jazz. Anyways. So, Diddy definitely has a problem, right? That much is clear. But like what I just said about the burden of proof, the prosecution did a wonderful job of painting him out as who he is. But after you've painted a guy out to be the worst possible guy, your next job is to prove that that guy did these things that you're accusing him of. And if you decide to charge me of the worst crimes that carry the heaviest charges, the burden that is already high becomes even higher. And I think that's where the prosecution may be blundered. They might have blundered a bit. They shot for the stars, granted.
With the charge, yeah?
Yes, with the charge. But the guy we're dealing with, he has enough money to hire the guys he needs to hire. And he hired the guys he needed to hire.
He did.
Funny enough, a good part of his legal team, I think maybe 2 or 3 people, were from the YSL trial.
Yes. And like this guy's team was so good, yeah? From the start, he had a chick who was like a former judge, something like that, who specializes in jury selection. Yeah. That's when I knew his team was good, bro. Because like this babe is telling you that juror, just based off looking at the juror.
Yeah.
Like that juror, nada, select that one.
There's even a stage in the trial where there was a bit of a tug of war. There was a juror who they found out had lied about where he lives. So the prosecution was trying to get him kicked off. The defense was fighting for him. And he was a black man. A black man who loves hip-hop. You know they give you those good details about that. Hip-hop.
From Compton.
Yeah.
Like,
he loves hip-hop. He got bounced, bro. Because he had lied.
Yeah.
So anyways, bro, as a defense attorney, a defense counsel, hearing the way these guys were cross-examining, bro. Like the way they were peeling things back after, the prosecution has done an amazing job of communicating what they need to communicate through their witness. The prosecution would present a witness. By the time that witness is done testifying, you're convinced. You're like, Brad Diddy is sick. I can't believe he did that. When the defense begins, they peel back that jazz until you're like, bruh, this shit come and lie to us for 2 days? Bruh, they would peel it back and you would think they are finished. They would come back the next day and do it again until the witness is now at the point where they're saying, I don't remember, I don't know. Like there's this chick who, I forget her name, but I know she's kind of famous. She's one of Cassie's friends. And she said Diddy broke into Cassie's house while she was there with her girlfriend. Not Cassie. This chick was there with her girlfriend. Cassie was in her room. Diddy broke in and lifted this chick and hanged her over the balcony. Like her legs were over the balcony.
I remember that.
That jazz.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot her name as well, but that was in week 2 of the trial.
Bro.
Yeah.
So she said that. Tell me. And I was like, man, Diddy is sick. Why would he do that? Why is he a maniac? Why was he always so angry? Tell me why Diddy's team came. And first of all, proved that Cassie and Diddy, on the night that this chick said they did that, were in New York at a party together. Diddy was on tour at that time. Tell me why they proved that, they proved more things that completely destroyed that chick's testimony until it became none. By the time they were done, this chick was just saying, I don't know, I don't remember, I don't know, I don't remember, I don't know, I don't remember.
It's like a house of cards.
Yeah,
Just
it's like, bruh,
one card,
you came and just like
collapses.
you were mob sure,
and
then they came and they completely...
But you see also, to be fair, I think the problem was starting out with specifics. Like saying on the night of this. Let's not forget that most of the things, especially testimonies regarding or around Cassie, are of things that happened even 10 years ago, bro.
No, but her thing happened in 2021.
But
I'll
it's
tell
hard
you...
to trace the alibis.
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
you-
Like, okay, because the things like different events that they were thinking about, testifying about regarding Cassie and this guy broke up when?
You mean the final breakup?
Maybe 2023, 2022.
Because they are broken up.
Yeah, like
a number
2020,
of times.
like 2022. The abuse, the what, went on for like a decade. So now coming and saying that on June 16th, 2016,
Yeah.
But like,
And that's
and
more
that's what
like
I'm saying.
recording.
It always goes back to the standard. Because you see, in examination in chief, this is what the prosecution does with their witness. The method, they call it 4 wives and 1 husband.
yeah.
You're supposed to ask
The
where,
4 W's and
when,
the
why,
how.
what,
How.
how. So if you don't ask those things, me, I'm going to come and ask him when I'm cross-examining.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, confirm that you don't know when this happened. You don't know where this happened. You don't know why it happened. You don't know what happened. Literally.
Confirm you're lying.
if the
You're
prosecution-
wasting our time.
I kid you not. In the cross-examination, the last question that Diddy's lawyer asked his chick, so please confirm that you've come to this court and lied.
Are they like,
And the chick said, I can't confirm that.
guys,
That I'm sure a jury was like, bruh, as in.
in the end of it all, are those people who came out as like witnesses, yeah? Are they sometimes charged with perjury?
No, at least they're not given immunity
Yeah.
before they start
Yeah.
testifying.
Okay.
And now you see, for example, like that chick, another issue is a lot of them also have lawsuits against Diddy. Civil suits where they're trying to get money. So you end up seeming like even a biased witness because you also want to get money from him. So many people who testified either worked for Diddy or were trying to get money from Diddy, or like, I'm sure it was a tough job for the jury because they're like, you might be telling the truth, but also you have a lot to gain from him being found guilty. Because if he's found guilty of his offenses, the civil trial becomes easy peasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So honestly, I fully understand the challenge that the jury had. Now it's in the hands of the judge to decide. But those testimonies were shocking. This Jane Doe chick, Jane Doe and Cassie, that might be an entirely different conversation for Patreon, bro. Because like, it just shows you how crazy. As we be thinking, we know what a transactional relationship is. You have no understanding of the amount of power
Someone has over you.
that this guy was wielding over these chicks. And honestly, they were complicit. They were complicit to the extent that you can be complicit as like the type of things he put them through.
That's a very dangerous thing. Knowing how victim situations work and what happens to their mindsets, that's a very
I'll tell
thing
you
to
this.
say, because I mean, Stockholm and whatnot are real things.
They are.
Like, you can't say that, oh, she knows what she's doing, she knows what she's getting out of this. People genuinely can't live, like they're mentally trapped.
I get that.
So you can bring it, like, can say this person brainwashed me into doing this particular.
It's not even
Okay.
brainwash. These are actual conditions
It
that
can
you
be.
find yourself in a situation.
It can
You've
be.
not seen how many relationships, you've seen so many relationships where, mind you, either way, both men or women, abusive relationships, victims don't leave. As in, people are killed because they are genuinely psychologically trapped.
Yeah,
they're no longer in control of their faculties.
How can you prove that though?
What do you mean? How can you?
watched a video by a
The
channel
proof's in the
called,
pudding. The people are
There
there.
is no way to prove that.
I'll tell you this. I fully understand why, like, sometimes it's very difficult for people to sympathize or empathize. In this Jane Doe chick's testimony, she explains like everything that she went through. How, like, at first hand Diddy won some super lovey-dovey jazz, and then this one time he asked her to like introduce another person, and she was like, "Let me just do it for him, just to like." And she said like she enjoyed it the first time, it was vibes, and then it became the only thing they would do, and he wouldn't see her otherwise, and she would see him like. For example, when he was dating Carisha, like he would be buying her Maybachs and doing all this nice stuff for her that he used to do for her. And now the only times he would hit her up is for the free cups. And if she didn't want to do her free cups, he would get mad, and or he would like gaslight her, or he would like not meet her. So you can see that part of the relationship where she's like gaslighting herself, or where she's like kind of like lost, and she's just accepting. Then there's a point where
You
like
see crossover.
it seems like she's now enlightened. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you've been doing this to me." And the point that she talks about the most is where Cassie's lawsuit came out. She sent him a paragraph saying, "Bro, I can't, like, I read this chick's lawsuit and I feel so seen. I can't believe you did this to someone else, and you're making me seem crazy, like you didn't know what I was talking about, da da da." And she ends it. And then he reaches out and she's down again. Those are things that like paint a picture in the jury's head, because they're like, if even while you're making this testimony, he's paying your rent, and you're buying a love contract with him where he gives you this amount of money a month.
It's
He
called
calls
a
it
love.
a love contract.
I actually hate that man.
Diddy is so messed
So
up. bro.
sick.
Diddy is so messed up. He would, bruh, this chick would be mad at him for this jazz. And then fight. And this guy would be like, "Yo, man, love anyway. Peace and love. You know, like, I only live through like." I was like, "Bro, you're the worst kind of guy." Diddy was not kawa.
Was he they were doing the freak offs, they were doing the weird nasty shit. Was he also beating her?
I think he had maybe been physical with her.
He did.
They were, you know, the other problem with this physical jazz is they both be fighting. So she'll say, "Oh, I threw a plate at him, and then we fought." Or it will be some shit
Was
like
it
that.
the Cassie type?
Of them fighting each
Yeah.
other? Like Cassie type of like how he dragged her through the...
Like kicking her, dragging her, punching her.
I don't think he was physically violent with this chick as such. She explains that they had fights, but nothing close to the Cassie jazz. But kind of similar. So I guess it's a very like, it's fucked up. Like, you feel terrible for these women, but you know that they will not leave because they are too like, they are the same way he's addicted to sex is the way that they are addicted to him. Like, they're addicted to what he comes with. Because I'll tell you this, Diddy was not giving this chick a lot of money. He was paying for a $10,000 apartment. And for a long time, that was it.
No love allowance.
Nothing.
It's a love contract.
She would see him.
It's a love
see him-
contract.
She would see him buy something nice for another chick, complain, and he buys it for her. But he never bought her a car. He never bought her, like, bruh, this guy he just would sprinkle with things. And if you're with him, you're on a yacht, you're on a jet, you're on a this, but you're with him, he's not giving it to you to go and no.
You can't do it alone.
No. So for me, it was mad. I always thought these women are getting much more out of these things than they were actually getting, I guess.
I watched a video this week, and it was also based on a case by this like legal YouTuber who is like a criminal lawyer as well. I think LA, something like that.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the issue was, of course, this was way before the verdict. This was like Tuesday when he put out this video. And the guy said the issue, because, as you said, the prosecution, the first thing they did from the beginning, I think like their first major witness was Cassie. They were like, let's paint this image of who this guy is.
Yeah.
Then we shall prove what the charges are, yeah?
Yeah.
And this guy was saying, the issue is, a lot of the witnesses, and the reason that's why I remember this is because when you use the word complicit, is what he said. It was like, a lot of these witnesses, unfortunately, all this happened to them, but he used the word complicit. The guy said they were complicit in that, fine, what they were going through was horrible. But they let it continue and they gained from it. And this was back to the billionaire conversation we had last week. And that's what that guy was saying. It was like, it's horrible, but unfortunately the law in the US is going to look at the facts. And what are the facts? But even depending on the charges, this is what's happening. And this is before the verdict.
Even them being complicit. It wasn't just being complicit in the sense that it was happening to them. It was complicit in the sense that they were the ones calling
that's exactly what he was saying.
The other guys to join in Africa. So like they used to play a role. Like there's guys, there's entertainers, that's what they were calling even that thing, that they were working with. That Diddy basically never talked to his entertainer.
That very first guy, what's his name?
A lot of them.
The very first witness who they brought, the male guy.
Some of those now Diddy's are no called.
Yeah, but like that initial guy,
I have a question.
all the communication was
when other
Cassie.
men would come, would Diddy also do things with a man?
No.
Nada.
He would watch.
He would watch.
There's a weird one. No, where he like, I told him to carry the nut to the next room. Why he
Has it?
It was weird.
He said, you and Cassie just over bathe in oil or just
that's
oil.
just
I was like,
I have two questions,
like, Yo, chill.
Question number one. Is it right to hold someone accountable for your state of being in being in denial? Can you hold someone accountable for putting you in a state of being in denial?
It depends. It depends on. That's where now the conversation about power dynamics comes in.
Yes.
Because if they are, for example, dependent on you for their livelihood, it takes as if a part of the choice away. For example, if you being in your house depends on my mood,
I can choose to not pay your rent now.
There were so many texts where Diddy was like, okay, I guess you don't need anywhere to live. Like, after these 3 months, just start finding somewhere else to live if they didn't want to do the free cops. You dig it?
But did he ever ask them not to work?
What? Not to work.
So that they are financially dependent on him.
He would, for example, ask them, because this is a particular type of woman.
I don't know about gender, but now for like Cassie's situation.
Yes. So Cassie was in complete control of her career.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I mean, remember Cassie's a singer.
Yeah, he wouldn't allow her to put out albums.
He wouldn't. But he got her into a kafani weird deal. Like yes, like she signed a deal with his
boys.
Exactly. Yeah. And he just wouldn't put out her music.
For Cassie's situation, it makes
she
sense.
couldn't tour.
Yeah.
She was going to do a movie. He was on.
Pretty much all the babes. See, the thing with Cassie is because there is music and work assigned to it. If I come to you and I say, unless you... No, let me not choose myself. If Diddy comes to you and says... yes, man,
we were waiting. Guys are going to be like, huh?
Yeah. If Diddy comes to you and says, yo, you're not going to stay in your apartment unless you come for this freak off. It's not very different morally. Legally it might be, but morally, because I don't know. It's not very different from what he did to Cassie. It's really not. So for all the babes, same structure, maybe different scale, because Cassie was a celebrity, she has albums, blah, 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 blah. But the foundation of the issue is the same, bro. He's using his power dynamic to control these babes and do them certain.
Wait, Wendy, you're wondering why didn't she just bounce from the house, get her job,
they
pay her bills, and move on?
Abused just because they were gaining something out of it still. And now they are crucifying this guy.
No, but Wendy,
them in that state.
No, Wendy, I need you
they
to.
Had a free will to live, unless this guy at one point he threatened them with harm. Like, I'm gonna harm you, I'm gonna kill you.
No, Wendy, I need you to know that when I say what happens to these people sometimes is that victims, the different types of victims of these types of situations, is that I don't want to use the word brainwashed, but you find yourself in you find themselves, or they find themselves in situations, I don't know if you've read about these stories or whatever, where the person has been conditioned in such a way, like someone who might have been kidnapped in the beginning or whatever. Their perpetrator can leave them in a house with an open door.
coming to 3.
Do you understand? But they can't leave. Like, they would never leave. If anything, they even find themselves in a situation where they're now the ones recruiting new people for the initial perpetrator.
And that's a big...
Let
me bring it down to a guy. You know, manipulate.
As it?
Anyway, you know what the best example is? Maybe this we'll close it out with this because we've done this for too long. But a really good example is like, let's say when people from the West come here, and like, bruh, why do you guys allow the state of this country to remain how it is? You guys don't have this, you guys don't have this, you guys don't have this, you guys don't have this. Why don't you just leave? For you'll be like, man, but this cover for me, bro.
Exactly.
I think those chicks also for a long time they're like, it's cover for me, bro.
This is all I have to do.
Yeah, like it's just this cover for me. But the rest of the world is looking at them like, this is cover for you. When like, I'm not going to get into it, but like, you know how things are here, bro. Yeah, if you're not from here and you come here, you'll be like, bruh, what are these guys on?
It's not as easy as just
it's
standing
kind of
up
similar
and
to that.
beating,
Like,
bro.
it's easy to judge from the outside, but on the inside, those people feel like this is what it is. This is all it is. You know? Anyway, man, let's close this. Because we need to do some subs, and we've done this for a long time. How long have
let's
we
do
done now?
subs.
On the second one? Like 40?
No.
30?
Like, altogether, it's like 1 hour 30.
130. Okay, let's do some subs, bro.
Okay.
We didn't do subs last time. We're going to do MJPS on the Patreon. And we had one other topic. What other topic?
I don't remember, it's in the note.
Okay, we have another topic. Yeah.
Subs.
Subs. We
Time
didn't do
for-
subs last week, so let's do some subs now.
Time for
There's that
Mobsters.
one sub that we read last week that we promised to answer on the main pod.
Yeah.
Have them
Yes,
sent
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Can we do
No,
that?
it was a guy actually.
a guy?
It was a guy.
Ah, cool,
Okay.
cool.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
As for whoever sent this, do you lawyers on the pod P, or why you just sue?
I like that.
That's it.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Uh,
I like that.
No.
Yeah, you've cooked.
No.
You've cooked. You've
That's a
cooked.
low IQ joke.
Then I'm low
That's a
IQ,
low
man.
IQ
That thing
joke,
has
bro.
slapped.
That is,
They prosecute.
You need to lower your IQ for jokes.
to
to
laugh
actually
at that
make
one.
sense.
Fair.
Just a high IQ guy. So Einstein.
Fair. My fault.
Wagwan MJP.
We're gone.
Do you guys mind bringing back an MJPL? The new PL season is coming, and I think it'd be cool if Melvin Sido and a few lads do season predictions, which they can then revisit at mid or end of season. I'm a Liverpool fan, and my prediction is that we're retaining the Premier League title.
Okay,
Much
then
love,
you-
guys.
Hey.
Casper as
No
well,
one in
man.
Uganda is
Casper also has
using
to
lads.
cane.
Jack.
Casper has to cane her prediction as
Listen,
well.
man. If we do bring back MJPL, we need someone to manage and run the whole of it, bro. Because MJPL is an entirely different pod that needs its own, its own programming, its own guests, its own everything, bro. So
We can give you like a 20-minute segment.
yeah,
Yeah.
if someone wants to do, but if someone can manage MJPL, then fairs, hit us up. But
Yeah.
like, it takes
Hi.
a lot of energy.
Hi guys, I'm a student studying abroad and I have this dilemma.
Okay.
So there's a new super religious girl who is also from Uganda. Of course I was friendly and all, but she recruited me to go to her church, in quotes. It's giving cult vibes and I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. Attendance is low, but I want to leave. How do I?
Attendance is low. There are like 3 guys in the church, bro.
They'll notice you
That
leaving.
is funny.
I'm dead.
That is funny, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, this question is too easy for me, so I'll let you guys go.
Wait, for you, just a man, just bow it.
Literally, bro. What's you guys answer?
Brother. But we, man. that's because I also it depends on whether you want to stay with this girl or not. If you do, you have to tell her why you're bouncing, bro. You feel a certain type of way, because don't stay stuck in the thing. But otherwise, me, I'd say also just bounce, man. If it's feeling like a cult, it must be for a reason.
Let me tell you, man. If she's super religious and she has brought you to her quote unquote culty church, and I imagine culty just means like they're super like into their thing, bro. I can't name any churches that are like that, but like where it's almost like tribal, bro.
They're locked in.
Yeah,
Where it's
the way
like they're worshipping the guy or something.
not even chill that it's like once you join this church, you're now part of the
family.
Yes, like you're part of that tribe now, bro. And if you leave, you've left everything, bro. And we can't accept you again. You know what I mean? It feels like I betray you if you leave. Right. With one of those chicks, if you decide to leave the church, if you decide to leave her, bro.
But it's a friendship. Oh, yeah,
is it a friendship?
Yeah, it's a friendship.
Oh, leave,
I thought
bro.
you were.
Oh my god,
It's a
leave.
friendship.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Relax,
leave, bro.
But we.
Leave. Yeah, the stakes are way lower then.
Yeah.
Leave, bro. Easy choice. Leave. Let us know how that goes, but leave.
Yeah. Oh, they should tell us. Yeah, I agree. Please leave. Okay. At my big age of 26, I just found out that bacon is pork. I used to think bacon was its own animal.
What was Kevin Bacon?
I'm just saying.
I'm actually so curious what you thought this animal was.
So what is mutton?
What did it look like?
I bet you thought mutton was also an animal.
Yeah.
First, tell us what you thought bacon was. What kind of animal, bro?
Like was it
Yeah.
Like a pigeon, man.
like was it a bird? Was it
This guy's like we are killing strips of a bird, bro.
From the guy's POV, why is pork having two names? Both in the same language, pork and mutton.
but I mean
there's
but
ham,
there's
There are so many names.
yeah.
There's so many
Yeah,
names
why
for
does
pork.
it get to have many names?
It does, bro.
It has many
Because it's a
parts.
different type of
I'll tell
it
you
has
that.
very many parts and it's a different type of bacon is what? What's bacon
The
again?
strips.
Yeah, I know it's the
particular
strips,
part of
but-
a
Part
pig.
of the yeah.
I'm trying to remember what part of the pig it is. But so you want them to call everything that comes from the pig is pork.
Pig.
Yes, pork ribs,
Pork strips, pork
So they say-
legs.
Man, I'm not the queen, bro. King, I guess.
Bro.
Remember he invented English.
the
But I'll
king's
tell you this,
language,
There are
bro.
also a bunch of other meats, pause, that have different parts that have different names.
What are these lamb jazz? Why the
Lamb,
jazz?
mutton.
Lamb,
Yes,
no, but
Even
there's also
beef has
veal.
another thing. Veal. There's also veal.
Veal is no, I think veal though. Veal is from baby lambs. What are baby kids?
Yeah, but that's
What's
like
a baby
saying-
lamb called?
That's like saying
A
you think
kid.
steak is an animal, or
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Steak is a piece
I-
of meat. Right?
Exactly.
like
it's
think-
about the
you think
preparation and the
patty
cut of
is
the
an
meat.
animal.
That's why they differentiate. It's about how the
SpongeBob
meat
like,
was
man. What's
cut
that patty
and
jam?
prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, so the appearance is what gives it a name.
Yeah.
Yes, or
So
like saying thighs
Also,
or
the guys who
wings.
call every burger a hamburger. Relax.
Yeah. it's not
Yeah.
lamb.
no, but I don't think that's because of ham. I think hamburgers originate from Hamburg.
Yes. But not all of them are hamburgers.
That's interesting.
The name of the food is about, it's like saying an Irish potato. It's not about the presence of ham in the meal. It's about where it came from originally.
However, if
So
I'm
they're
not
not sa-
somewhere and you say I want a beef hamburger,
It's still correct because this meal is
correct.
yes, it's not about the presence of the ham. It's about the meal originally. Find out if hamburgers are from Hamburg. I
Okay.
might be lying.
So
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, is makeup making this chick more convincing? I'm convinced, bro. That guy's convincing herself.
it's like how guys say chips and French fries, right?
Yeah.
And then guys say beef burgers,
Burgers.
beef burgers, hamburgers. For me, it's like
No one says beef burgers and hamburgers.
Yeah.
I can't lie. It's been a few years since I heard someone say hamburger.
It's been years since anyone has just not said a burger.
Yeah,
Who even says,
everyone
I
said-
want a beef burger? Burger, bro.
She has
Jordan
cooked
has
it.
cooked.
it
I
is
was
from
cooking.
Hamburg, yes.
Yes.
Okay, because the German has mob foods. German. Because Frankfurters are also from Frankfurt.
The colonialists, bro. Colonialists.
The language has evolved. Not everything is a hamburger.
Eh.
We have jam.
Okay.
I can't be ordering a beef burger and you say a hamburger. I'll be like,
As
nah,
in, you guys want to answer this. How do you navigate dating a girl with strict parents? If they want her home by 9 p.m., they don't let her go out. They only allow her one outing per week. Mind you, this girl is in her mid-20s.
Maria. Obviously. Maria. Yeah. She's not for you guys who want to play games. Hey, I want you. No, marry her. If you want her time like you say you want it, marriage.
Take her to your home.
Yeah. Otherwise, get out of the way, bro. And leave her for men who are ready. You know?
That's so silly. Mama Sydney, how do they manage?
man, I don't even have a soul. Like, after that, there's nothing I can
So,
say. man.
you guys don't date babes with strict.
Come on.
But if she has strict parents, once a week is calm. Once a week is calm. You just learn to make the most of that once a week.
Home by 9.
Yeah. Manager,
doable.
you meet at 9.
Home by 9.
Meet at 9 in the morning.
9 is kawa. Yeah, babes used to be home by 6.
Yeah.
9 is
As
kawa.
adults.
Yeah.
I don't
Saturday,
mean
9
in Val.
a.m. I'm picking you up.
Yeah.
We'll be together for the next 12 hours.
8:30 we'll be heading home.
I actually knew someone like that.
Yeah.
Her curfew was 6 p.m. I want you to know she left Kribo on Saturday at 8.
Yeah. That's what you do.
She was home by like 5:50.
Yeah. That's
Having
what you
had a day.
That's what
When
you do.
COVID curfew was 7.
PS.
Hey.
Is it? Yeah, because Airbnb check-in is like 10. So if you meet at 8, you have breakfast to the B&B by 10. 10 to 5.
Hard guys will have breakfast from the B&B.
See? If you're sharp, make her cook for you at the B&B.
I can't stand you guys.
Like if she's home every day, bro.
Yeah.
She probably, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steal some bacon from home. You come and yam it from here.
Okay. I'm like 71% sure that most of my nice subs I send are being answered on Patreon. This has made me want to join Patreon the more. How can I convince my guardian or friend to pay those $5 for at least 1 month?
Yeah. Pay them.
Pay
Pay them
them,
and find
pay,
out.
pay,
Pay them
pay,
and find.
pay.
Or also just start saying for the main pod, please read on the main pod. We
Yeah.
do that if like
Yeah.
if you insist we do it on the main pod.
If time allows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that sometimes people can share Patreon access to their Patreon accounts?
I don't know
As people
actually.
do for Netflix.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it possible?
We wouldn't know. It's possible.
I imagine it's kind of possible. I don't
Like
know.
the way us who are the owners of the page, we can send a link and anyone can watch. You think someone who is paying can send I don't think
As long as
Patreon
they have
would.
a YouTube link.
We're not sending the. I've never tried to send the link from Patreon.
The link doesn't
I always send the link from
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
As long as they have the YouTube link.
Yeah.
So if I send, but if I watch on Patreon, don't I get access to the YouTube link? Can't I share that link with someone else?
Now you're overjazzing. Guys, don't be bad mannered.
They don't steal.
Yeah.
And also, anyway,
Yeah.
Giving them tactics.
But I can tell, like we can tell if the viewership goes.
If the view count is not corresponding
if
with
we
the
start-
paying
yeah,
guys.
it can be confusing. Yeah.
Reset everything, man.
yet another one. How do I know if my sub has been read on Patreon? Yet I'm a YouTube guy. I've been waiting for mine and it seems like you skipped it. We'll probably read it on
First send
Patreon.
it again, then add for YouTube.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in my 20s and a virgin. The pressure is getting worse.
This is the one.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the one.
This is the one.
All my guys went through with it and I have done everything else, but I've sort of just been scared too. And then when I wanted to, I was with girls that didn't. But now I'm back on the streets and I've heard that it's overhyped, etc. But man, I'm getting old for real and I don't have this experience. I know a few girls that are down for sure, but they aren't virgins, you know. Deep inside, I'd feel like I'm losing something giving them my V card to them. Maybe it's patriarchal thinking, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's patriarchal thinking, I don't know, bro, but that's my chiller dilemma. I don't even know what the question is.
Sweetheart, it's not a race, it's a marathon.
Interesting. Go on.
Man, all of us are smiling.
Go on.
Cool.
I like where you're going with
You
this.
have landed.
Should I need to like?
It's
rush
a guy.
It's a guy.
Oh, it's the guy.
Yeah.
No, bro.
The sweethearts are bowing.
Forget that shit.
For a chick,
Just
it's kawa, but for a guy,
Marathon.
That's what for a guy. It's a sprint.
you need experience in that field.
Hey.
Do you? I
Yeah.
met guys who play guitar on the first go.
Bro, the ladies are not forgiving. Yes.
They're not forgiving.
But remember, he's also saying another dilemma is that he also kind of feels weird doing it with someone who has been doing it.
Not who has been doing. They're just not virgins.
Okay, they're just not
You're looking
virgins.
This
Virgin
brother
Mary.
is 20.
In his
The fact that you're
20s.
saying I'm getting old and you're 20.
He
Oh
said
my God,
he's
bro.
in his 20s. He didn't say he's
What's
20.
a man's peak? At what age is the man's peak?
Right now, like
35, bro.
right now, that test is in his veins, bro. Testosterone is raging in
You're
his
a
veins,
fool.
That
So,
guy is
like,
dying. He's
yeah,
about to become
he-
bald, bro.
bro.
I'll tell
Listen,
you this.
man. Yeah.
First
okay,
of
you go,
all,
you go, yeah.
no. You're going to give a primary answer, but
You go,
I
you
also
go.
want to just say that, like, it's coward to feel that way, man, because you treasure your virginity, and that's you. There's no society
You
standard
guys,
that's going to say.
Wendy's like, yeah.
There's
Have you just
no-
done the sign of the cross for your virginity? Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah, virginity, bro.
This guy could make a triangle with the cross.
I'm telling you some stupid shit. Do guys treasure their virginity?
What's I going to say?
Clearly.
No, this guy
Clearly
does.
some guys
And listen, the one thing I'm not going to do is discredit his jazz. Not many guys do. seems like you do, and it's Kawa. Wendy's shaking his head, but it's Kawa.
You know, like when a guy says that he's a virgin, it's like someone has to just take their word for it. Because there is no proof that this guy is a virgin. And guys, they can even.
And there's also no proof for babes.
There is actually.
What's the proof? What's the proof?
Guys, what's the proof? Hymens can break as a child. Are you basing on a hymen?
Hey.
You guys are basing on hymens.
There is no proof.
Read
bro.
about hymens.
There
In
is
your
no
free
proof for
time,
babes.
read about hymens.
Wait, what? Can they be fixed?
No. A hymen is a very thin membrane that, yes, some women reach full adulthood with them and then only lose them at that point in time. But also, so many women lose them before they actually have
Way
sex.
before, bro.
And I hear that also,
Way
like, if you
before.
go a while without having sex, it can, like...
Another thing is, it's a myth. It can grow back, but allegedly that the feeling of if you've gone years without it and then you do it, apparently the feeling to feel like that first time, like it's hell.
Guys, it's something I had, and it's a big thing. I don't know whether I'm supposed to say this on the pod, but I had this conversation with my ex. And for them, it's a big thing.
What?
The
That's a
hymen.
big thing.
You have to bleed.
You have to bleed.
Yes.
Scientifically, it's not proof that you're a virgin, bro. Because there are many babes.
Something can, you can
Yeah.
lose it, but you can lose a hymen. But you're...
There's no way to know, bro. If she does it when you start accusing her, man. Abambi Akababy is being honest. Anyway, answer the guy.
What should the guy do, Melvin?
Brother. Just do it to the chicks who are down, bro. I'll tell you this, that, like...
But
sex
don't you
is-
think, aside from patriarchal stuff, but don't you think that's a tougher crowd?
The chicks who have done it.
Yeah.
This nigga is 20, bro.
20, bro.
These chicks are probably 20 as well. And tougher, this is not a performance, bro.
Say
It's
swear.
not a performance,
Say
bro.
swear, Melvin.
I'm telling you, it's not a
The
performance.
very first time is
Like-
not a performance.
I promise you, do not attach too much value to the thing. As long as it's being done between two people who have mutual respect for each other and who are both in agreement to do the thing, the rest is kawa. You'll figure the rest out. If it's your first time, it's probably going to be a bit awkward. It will be awkward for them as well. But if it's a chick who's down, like, it will be a better experience in general. Like,
So should
my
he tell
advice-
them that it's his first time, or should he just wing it and learn on Jobo?
it's you can never tell them it's your first time. I've never met a man who told that chick it's my first time. I've never met a single. If you're out there in the comments, tell us in the comments if you did it.
I'll tell you
us in
this.
the
To tell
comments.
her at all, because when you tell her after, she'll think that this guy is just justifying.
Tell her like
the
5
poor
years later.
performance.
Put a note in your phone.
No. Even 5 years is mob. Just
Yeah,
don't jazz her.
I
Do
feel
not
like-
jazz, bro.
I feel like the danger with where you're at right now is you've already attached so much like importance and thought, and I get that this is the point that you are in your life. You've put this thing, sex, on like a pedestal, and it has now become this giant thing that has to happen with a particular type of person in a particular type of way.
I don't think it's
But
necessarily
like-
even sex. It's like virginity in particular.
Yes, your first time.
Yeah.
Like, you've put it on this insane, like, but your first time will not be the best time. It will not be, it's actually going to be over really quick. I can guarantee you that.
3 thrusts.
It'll be over before you notice.
3 thrusts.
It'll be over
bro.
before you even, like, before you really
Like,
get into it. It'll be over. bro. So I will, and maybe that's why you want to do it with someone who has never had it before.
Yeah.
Maybe you imagine that, like, the standard will be lower or whatever, but like, bro, just get it out of the way. It's not that deep. I promise you, it's not that deep.
Can virgins really have
That-
sex?
It might be.
Can what?
Virgins really have sex. A
They
virgin and a
can.
virgin.
They can.
Everyone will be scared of each other.
But
Like,
guys-
they'll be shy.
So you
Every
were never a virgin.
every man has been a virgin and he did
This
it.
has nothing to do with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'll
Brother.
be okay, but you're overthinking it, bro. Like,
But again,
get it out of the way, and that's why it's best to do it to the chicks who are down.
my
Do it
answer
to the
is a
chicks who are
bit
down and get it
different.
out of the way.
I agree with Melvin, but my answer is a bit different. While I'm in agreement, I don't know why you're a virgin, bro. So I don't know that it's like a moral, spiritual, emotional thing. I feel like for me, first take care of that.
Why?
Why he's a virgin?
No, why
Why-
he has this pressure to
Perform.
Break the
To
virgin.
do it.
perform, but like to do it with someone who is a virgin. If that makes sense.
And
Like
not even
he really wants to,
There's some purity politics.
Yes,
here.
there's some purity
First
politics.
understand that. Then go to what Melvin
But
is
then
saying.
also, okay, I don't know. Here I am standing in men's business, but I don't know if like, I'm assuming it's one thing when you're in like, when you're much younger, when you're 19, 18, 20, and that's the talk around town, right? But not like you're in your 20s. Who even cares? Like, what are you thinking about? Like,
I'm willing to bet like my left arm that this guy is early 20s. He's like 20.
like 2021.
I'm willing to bet this guy is
max.
like 20. This just here.
Actually, 22 might be a stretch.
And let me ask. And being a 20-year-old virgin is a big deal for guys. Eh?
Oh, guys, yeah.
It's a big deal.
Not 20. At 20.
20, you're a
You
child.
haven't even, like,
Yeah,
are you in
he's
uni
young.
at 20?
But you
Yeah,
see,
you're in
the
uni.
way that submission was sent, I'm picturing like Olympia, bro. Like mob girls are down. This one is probably like on the ramp in that car room. bro.
Yeah,
You get-
relax.
like-
Okay, relax. Don't make it too
Olympia
late.
babes, man. Olympia babes are the worst
Only
kind,
babes,
bro.
bro.
Yo.
Those ones whose windows face, not
Relax,
windows, whose balconies
relax,
face the ramp. Those
relax.
rooms are not cow.
No,
Anyway,
no.
I'm playing. But like,
That's
this
too
guy
funny.
just, this guy just sounds young.
Yeah, this
And I
young guy
think
just-
it's also the pressure of testosterone and also just being
Peer
belief,
pressure. what-
Yo, relax, calm down. 20 is not that old, bro.
It's
It's really not.
brother, it's so young, and it's so funny how you'll eventually reach an age, inshallah, where you've outgrown that like pack mentality thing of guys are getting
Now you're
babes.
just
What
paying for yourself, bro.
you'll even surpass the kubeng, where you're just like, bro, I don't even have time to kube. I'm not interested in kubeng right now. Melvin, that look was so stupid. I think you should be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
about that one.
Just this thing of nah, patron.
Yeah, okay. Hi, guys. Biggest fan of the show. Can't believe it's 3 years already. I'm missing Magic Muchibi on the pod and his wild weekend stories.
Yeah, we miss him too.
I keep imagining a touch of Magic and Casper on the same pod. It would be fire.
Agreed.
I can't lie. The conversations. If you guys think me and Wendy have differing opinions,
You are Jesse.
me and Jesse.
And you see, the thing with Jesse is you'll say it with a smile, bro.
No,
Because
listen.
they're like,
Let me
But
tell
her
you.
and Jesse would probably have like, they'll probably have like shouting matches on this pod. Like it would be back and
You know,
forth.
you
It
and I
be
would just be
quiet
looking like,
and
damn.
be back and forth like this.
Remember, on your sister's function,
Yeah.
there's some shit Jesse said. I was like, huh? But I can't lie. It was funny. As
Let me
dying.
tell you, that
As
guy will
dying
say
the
the
whole
most
time.
outrageous thing, funnily.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Shout
And
out.
you will laugh. You won't know whether to be pissed
Yeah.
or laugh or just like, is he trolling?
No, we
That guy means
we
what he's saying, bro.
we agree to disagree with loads of love.
That sounds like Jesse.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Muchi.
Shout out Magic, bro.
Kendrick is undisputedly the GOAT, but Drake is also needed to balance everything out. I can't listen to someone chew themselves out for 24/7. Nah, he got me fucked up.
First of all, pause.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea. what that means.
Secondly, God, undisputed. I love Kendrick, but
I
don't
feel
know if
like
he's my
guys
God.
are. I feel like guys are in a matrix with that Kendrick and Drake jazz. They're mob artists that guys like, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think
What
that
about
like
God?
the internet has convinced guys that it's like this guy versus this guy only. Bro, there's so many.
These are just the
artists, bro.
two guys that had a fight recently.
Yeah, and the
It's
two
also
guys who are,
recency
like,
bias.
being pushed the
yes,
most.
I also think it's like the era.
They're throwing it in
Social
our
media,
face.
internet, what,
Yeah.
marketing. It's
Yeah.
a combination of many things, but
Yeah,
God,
but the guys were chilling, bro. Like,
questionable.
like there are like bro, Bad Bunny, Burna Boy, like other continents have their guys who like should be.
Okay,
in
go
that
to
vibes.
what? Like
Exactly.
hip hop?
Exactly. Because I keep telling guys, my mom does not know who Drake is, bro.
Neither does mine.
My mom does not have a
My
clue
mom
who
also doesn't
Drake
know who
is.
Drake is.
You're not the GOAT, bro.
My
like-
mom knew Michael Jackson.
Bro.
You get?
Okay, for them that's their era, but like
What's
No.
that gospel guy who had
Melvin.
the video where he was kidnapped?
Eh?
Silver Chagulanyi. Those are guys my
You're a
mom knows.
but you
fool,
see
bro.
my dad.
That's
my-
probably her God.
My dad and mom, maybe because of what's been on the news, they know who Diddy is.
Yeah.
They know who. I'm trying to think of someone younger who they know.
I tell you who my mom knows, and my mom My mom
That song in Rush
knows
Hour.
who A$AP Rocky is.
Okay, but your mom knows what MJP is.
Yes, my mom knows.
Yeah,
what
from
A$AP
your
My mom loves A$AP Rocky.
What?
Don't get us started.
Shout out Mama Casper.
Actually, if anything, she said, I feel he could have done better with this Rihanna girl. I was like, chill.
What is anyway? I don't know. I just feel like that Drake and Kendrick, I'm the biggest rap fan, so I love them both. But yeah, they are not the biggest artists in the world necessarily, bro.
Yeah.
But just throwing the word God everywhere, like, this word is not supposed to be used lightly.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
necessarily. Yeah, like they're the biggest.
If
in
you
the
talk about
West,
biggest in the world, in terms of like numbers, Drake is.
yeah,
Drake
he
is-
is.
No, but
Okay,
then
he's
also,
the biggest artist in the world, but like, anyway. Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Anyway, I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Now we're finally going to address. I received a bunch of subs of this nature, but this is the first one I've landed on. You guys are 3, but you do a best friendship test for 2. Cringe with a thumbs down. Someone else said something along the lines of, this test really proves that Casper and Wendy despise each other, or Casper despises Wendy. Are you guys kawa?
Okay. First
Wait.
of all,
They say this guy wasn't here.
The day Sydney wasn't around.
First of all, guys, these guys are best friends and it's Kawa.
Like,
It's Kawa. None of us is fighting here. You get. Secondly, I really hope this is not some parasocial dilemma, bro. Because it's Kawa for him to be best friends and still have a pod with the two of us. You get.
yeah, no, but not even that. Okay, so I don't compete in MJPS. Why isn't there a problem there? Okay, for some people there's a problem.
Yeah, there are some
But
people
you
that
see
are
the one thing that this pod has shown me, you can't make everybody happy.
You can't.
And so when I receive like that stuff, sometimes if it's a bit too nonsensical, I'll just delete it. Other times I'm just like,
We're deleting our subs.
chill. Other times I'm just like, if you find me on the wrong day, I'm 2 inches away from calling Melvin and saying,
Hey!
"Oh, bye, chill this pod."
Nah. Guys are there saying I'm cute and you're deleting. Yeah, you're a hater.
Yeah, she did them saying you're cute.
Why would I delete them saying you're cute?
Like a hater, babe, man.
Why would I delete them saying you're cute?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you guys thought that was cringe, bro, you are going to hate when I get a check.
Right?
When I make Sido become the voice again, bro, so I can sit next to me. And
We shall
Yeah.
get 2 angles.
even me, I
We're
might
not
get out of the
bouncing.
camera.
Yeah, so
I sit behind, she sits here. She won't even jazz. You guys get how it's cringe. Nah, she'll just be here sitting, eating,
Yeah.
And
and
looking cute.
drinking. Period.
and with her, you'll give her a sip of the cocktail.
I'll literally I'll feed her.
She will have my
I'll
cocktail.
feed her
bro.
and wipe her lips. Anyway.
Kiss her after.
Maybe
Maybe.
like Amara. You know how they drink Amara with straws?
Ah,
Long as straws.
the straw will be coming from out of the view. Literally.
Yes, first of all, shout out Silo Restaurant as
Silo
well.
Restaurant,
Quick snap for the pod, man.
What are these called again?
Siwatai. Stroke.
No. I think not.
Tie tires.
No, they're called tortillas.
These are tortillas.
I think
Those are not tortillas.
I think he brought the other jazz instead of the
These are not
tortillas.
tortillas.
I'll call them rubbish.
Listen, we don't even know what they're giving us sometimes. But me, I order tortillas.
But the
Anyways,
dip looks hard.
yeah, man. Let's keep going with the MJ or with the subs.
Okay, so I'm assuming with the subs.
Yeah.
And wait now, I thought the episode is over. We're going to Patreon.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
One more sub.
Oh, the one more sub is a woman makes you a male bestie for you to play boyfriend roles. Ellipsis.
The
Discuss.
reverse is true.
10 marks. Reverse is true.
Yes.
A man makes a woman a female bestie to play girlfriend roles. Wendy, I didn't see this coming from you. You're very
Really interesting.
surprising.
Interesting take.
Let me
I don't know.
delve deeper into this.
Okay.
Yeah, delve.
The dynamic between Melvin and Casper,
Casper.
it's a dynamic which I wouldn't want to see in a person who is in a relationship.
Interesting.
Casper is literally doing everything your girlfriend should do.
Hey.
Interesting.
Pause there. Pause there.
Let him land.
For me, if I was a girl, I would see it as I'm just there for sex. Because that's the only unique thing I have Casper didn't get to have. You understand? So, Casper is technically your girlfriend who you're not intimate with.
Discuss.
Okay, but then isn't my girlfriend also just my friend who I'm intimate with?
Literally.
You can't be
cooking.
having your secrets distributed everywhere. Because
Yeah,
this
but
person
that type
is your
of, let me tell you, the
friend,
secrets
everyone
I
gets
tell
to
when
get
I'm
those
butt
secrets.
naked. The secrets I tell when literally I'm not wearing a wire, bro. You can
No,
tell.
man, I have a pimple
different,
on my
bro.
cheek, bro. It's different.
Yeah, the secret
I
I tell.
actually can't stand you.
The secret I tell after I had a poor performance
Yeah.
when I'm the most vulnerable, bro.
I've ever been as a
From like
man.
an 8-hour work day.
Three-stroke Melvin. It's different from like
Hey,
Zero stroke.
You know when you're pumping the bicycle,
Yeah.
you just came
Is
from
it-
1, 2.
Yeah, it's different.
I get it.
It's
I
different.
get
It's
it,
different. But
I
I see what you mean by that. Yeah, I
That's,
disagree.
Casper,
that's
discuss.
too
Yeah,
stupid. Wendy's hypothesis. I don't agree. Especially now, like in our dynamic. I only see this guy when we come to do the pod.
It's our tortillas.
Eh? There's a day I even told him that, bro,
You look like tortillas.
we no longer hang out together. As in, I'm not. And he was like, yeah, we are colleagues. As in,
You have to nyam
You
it.
guys, you're wirelessly connected. You literally know exactly what this guy is going through.
Not true.
You may not be there like together physically, but bro, you know literally what this guy is doing. Like sometimes I even hear Melvin being jazzing like some stuff, some random stuff. Maybe he's at one point he's just jazzing it in a wrong way. You correct him like, no, this is what you did.
That's true.
This is what
That's
you
true.
did.
That's
bro.
true. That's true. That's true.
interesting.
I can
But
see
then,
your
but
POV.
then, but then also remember, I'm not his only female best friend.
Casper. You're trying
No,
to-
it's I'm
to
the
add
one.
more people
I'm
in
the
it.
one you're seeing. I'm not the only one.
Aren't you the one in the panel? On the panel.
Yes. So now, this guy. So how many girlfriends is this guy collecting?
Listen, that's the type
Guys
of
are
guy.
on our fucking Wi-Fi hotspot.
I'm telling you. So when he adds the babe now, who he gives butt naked secrets, like as in,
I've seen like those gangster movies where like, you know, that for a guy to talk to a gangster, he has to strip naked and then enter the pool. Then they can only talk in the pool.
yes. So that he's not wearing a wire.
That's when there's full trust.
Miami gangsters.
Yeah, that's when there's full.
So that's the one you're reserving for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the jazz you're reserving for your girlfriend. Love that for you.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I
man.
think we need to wrap this up, man.
Yeah.
These tortillas are banging,
Time for
bro.
Patreon. This was a blast as always. Super easy pod to record. Shout out Silo Restaurant.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the patrons. Shout out to
All of you, man.
The
shout out to
mobsters.
Mobsters. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to
Hug your
hug your
dad.
Kiss your mom.
Kiss your mom.
boy. Check on your babe.
Text your babe. Check on your boy.
Come eat at Silo
But you can
Restaurant,
do both.
man.
You can do
Yeah.
either or.
Yeah.
Text your boys. Check on your babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
And Africa must unite.
Africa Must Unite. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.